Hey, sir. Morning. Yeah, I know I'm here early. All right, so we have a buy signal here, which is currently pending, guys. Again, we're doing against momentum. So depending on like where this candle here closes, it's going to be against it. The other thing that I'm going to be a little concerned with is where market is, where the trade is currently running at 6:30, right? So at 6:30, market's going to open. I don't think I'll be holding on to this position until market open, right? I might be closing it a little early. There's no news for today, I believe. I think today's pretty clear. So I'm not too worried about any breakout or like any manipulation happening pre-market around 5:30, which obviously it's already passed. But I'll still be looking to maybe pull out before 6:30 because I don't want to be holding on to a position too late into the session, of course. Because the last thing I want to do is hold on to it and then I put my trade at chance once we get closer to 6:30. So although I'll be looking to take the trade here at 6, I'll probably be pulling out before market opens up at 6:30. And we don't even have momentum at that time anyway. There's nothing here. I mean, there is some momentum there, but it doesn't really it's not in our favor, of course, in a sense where, we have momentum kind of continuing. So as you guys know with the algo over here, basically when it says against, this means that price is typically turning, it's like a turnaround point, like there's going to be a reversal around this point. So what I'm anticipating here is we have price kind of coming down slightly, right? And if we don't get a buy signal here, which we're probably not going to get anytime soon, I'm expecting there to be a reversal. So we have a price drop right here. The stupid magnet on, that's why I was wondering why it was weird. But yeah, we have this downwards push right here. I'm expecting a reversal to happen right back up. That's why for this over here at 6 o'clock, we have it going against. So it looks like we're going to have a buy here for the momentum entry. We got a few little moments over here. It's at 6 o'clock. So once the 6 o'clock candle closes, not at 6 o'clock, but as the 6 o'clock candle closes. So, hey Daniel, morning, morning hindsight, morning guys,
side project a lot.
morning Blanco. Yeah, it looks like a good amount of you guys here made it early. That's solid. All right, we got the entry coming up right here in about a minute, it looks like. Let me see what we got over here. Okay, perfect. Got the entry coming up here shortly in about 50 seconds. We got 40 seconds till this candle here closes. I'm going to be taking a buy, guys. It's going to be a buy entry against momentum. Got about 30 seconds left. We got 20 seconds left. About 15 seconds. About 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right.
Order submit or
Let's see. The entry was right there. All right, cool. Make sure my parameters and whatever
order
is
held.
set properly. All right, so target is at 47,149. Stop loss is at 47,089. Let's see. So here's the thing here. Let me kind of make some markups here. So this is gonna be the 40 target. Gonna draw some lines here. So I have an idea. This is gonna be 40 because I'm looking over here and it actually pushes a little farther. We have like it goes up to 60, it looks like, or even further actually. Yeah, it looks like 60 is probably gonna be the threshold right there. So you have 60, we got 50. So what I might do here is when price pushes up, I might just move my stop loss up in profit rather than get out at 40. But we'll follow it and we'll kind of see where it ends up going. Again, this thing might run slow because this is pre-market and it's Monday. So the volatility is a little low. I'm probably going to get out before market opens at 6:30, guys. So I'm probably going to manually close out before 6:30 because I don't want to get caught in market manipulation on open. But let me just put this over here. This is going to be the 40 points. Yeah, this thing might be kind of slow, but it's okay. I'm not doing anything. I'm just letting it run. The next entry is going to be at 7:52, so it's a whiles away. So I'll watch it here. Again, for my trades here, guys, I only take half risk, so I can take two entries for the day. Basically, the R multiple is going to be half risk per trade, but we'll see. All right, so we'll be watching this for a while. Drop this a little lower. This is the 40-point target, 50-point target, 60-point target. So I'm in profit about 5 points right now. Here is my active trade, as you guys can see right here. It's just kind of going back and forth at the moment, slightly in profit. Profit about $100 right there. And it's gonna let it run. Gonna let it be for a little bit. So we'll kind of see where this ends up going. Pushing in profit right there. Let's see. So Daniel mentioned, hey Sam, yeah, I'm early today because we were taking this entry here at 6 o'clock. Daniel said a 5:33 entry and 6 o'clock entry running opposite of each other. So let's see, 5:33. Gotcha. Okay, so 5:33 was with momentum. Let me just check it real quick. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So it is running opposite of each other. So this one here at 5:33 was a sell actually. This one was 2040. Yeah, they're going opposite of each other right there. So we'll see what happens. Ideally, I think price is probably gonna push up because we have Mondays are usually kind of bullish unless there's something crazy that happens over the weekend. But we'll see. This is why it's always tricky which one you decide to take, especially if they're going opposite, because yeah, the 533 one was with momentum to the downside, and this one is against the opposite way to the upside. Let's see what the overall market structure and bias is looking like right now. So looking at the overall trend, it's a little mixed over here on the lower time frames. It's bearish right now for the most part. It's like bearish neutral for the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15. You can see prices below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down on the 1 minute. The 5 minute here, price is more on the neutral side. Trend meter is blue. Over here on the 15 minute, price is neutral as well. It's going sideways. Looking on the higher time frame. So this is preferably where I'd like to look at as the higher time frames. The 30 minutes bullish. Price is above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling up. Same with the 4 hour here. It's also bullish, and same with the 1 hour. So with that being said, typically, I'll look at the longer term direction to go to the upside. And because we're entering the market from the weekend, I'm looking for a continuation back up higher. Let's take a look at market structure. That's a good point that you brought up there, Daniel. So looking at market structure here, market structure is actually pretty bullish across the board. So it's bullish on the 1 minute, it's bullish on the 5 minute, bullish on the 15, bullish on the 30, 1 hour, and 4 hour. So this is a good sign for price to continue pushing up. The only problem here is you can see price isn't really going anywhere, right? It's kind of just going sideways. So what I'm hoping for and what I'm anticipating is for price to be bullish to the upside, or it breaks out to the upside, right? Because here's a cool thing, like our targets up here, and we do have some room for growth here, right? For price to push up higher. Preferably, I'd like to get into whenever I get into these breakouts, I like getting in when the volatility is a little bit higher, so closer to market open, right? Closer to 6:30. Like I said earlier, this thing here might go sideways for a bit. So if that's the case, or if we get into slight profit over here and it starts to kind of die down, as we get closer to 6 o'clock, I'm probably just going to pull out of it early because it is kind of tricky. with regard to momentum as we get closer to 6 o'clock. So I'm in profit right now, about 13 points, guys, about 500 right here. And it's pushing up pretty nicely. Again, I'm hoping for this to continue pushing up. We have a target here of price to reach anyways. There's liquidity sitting up here from these previous touches, right? So I'm hoping price comes out and knocks out this liquidity and then goes straight to my target. I'm up $600 right now in this account. This is just one account. I'm in profit about 18 points. So I'm gonna go back over here real quick and I'm going to or here, let me see, where was my entry at? My entry was at 6 o'clock. This entry is a little bit off. So I'm actually in profit more because the slippage on this one. But let me just check real quick. 40-20. So this is going to be the 40-20. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do what I did on the other chart is I'm probably going to move my stop loss and profit uh, once we get to that 40 so I can go for the full 60. So we got 50, or let me zoom out a little bit. I mean, again, it just kind of depends on where price is at. So this is going to be the 40. This is going to be the 50. And this is going to be the 60. I'm still in profit right here, about 20 points. I mean, I'm not pulling early unless we get closer to 6 o'clock, but let me just try to copy this. It's a little easier. So the 40 point target is going to be right here. And the 50 point target is going to be right here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to actively manage it and move my stop loss and profit and try to go for the full 60. Well, I'll see what happens because again, I don't want to hold it past 6:30. It's 6:09 right now, so we're getting a little closer to 6:30. Um, it just kind of depends on where price is going to be at, but I'm expecting price to push up probably to at least hit the 40 there. Push past the liquidity. But yeah, these are going to be the initial targets. So the initial one's going to be right here at 40. So well, the cool thing about this is it's going to turn it into, instead of a 1 to 2, it's going to turn into more like a 1 to 3 or maybe a 1 to 4, depending on where we move it up to. We'll see. Talanji's asking, is there a way to see how long the trade takes to hit on average? Unfortunately, not. The data doesn't show that, but I just look at the numbers here and you can kind of see. So, like for example, here on the third, which was last week, it took about 30 minutes to hit. So right at market open. Right here, the day before that, it took 19 minutes. Right here, it took 28 minutes. Right here, it took 30 minutes. Right here, it took 27 minutes. Took 30 minutes, 19 minutes, 13 minutes. So it ranges between like we'll say like 15 to 30 minutes. Obviously, I don't want to hold it to the full 30, so I'll be pulling before that. But yeah, it looks like it's going to take about like 15 to 30 minutes around there. So like sweet spot, we'll say average maybe like 20 minutes or so. All right, we got price pushing up almost at its 40 point target right there. At this point, I might just let it hit the 40 target. I'll try to keep you guys updated as price goes along. I'm in profit about 700 right now, almost 800 on this specific account. Like I said, we're getting close to market open. I don't want to be holding on to this position into market open, so we'll kind of just I'll have to just follow it. The volatility might pick up here, and this just might spike and hit my target anyways. So if you guys are just joining in, this is the trade from 6 o'clock. It's currently running in profit, no drawdown. We're looking for this to reach the 40 points. If we do have time to move the stop loss and profit up, what I'm going to do here is, once it reaches 40 points, I'm going to move my target up to 60, and I'm just going to drag my stop loss and profit to 40 to guarantee 40. I'll go for the full 60 on open. If I don't have enough time, because we're getting close to market open here at 6:30, I'll just pull out at the 40. This kind of depends on like, what it's looking like as we get closer to market open. Because the last thing I want to do is hold on to this position into market open. Ideally, I'd like to be out of it by then. So we'll see what happens here. Profit about 17 points right now. So it's reached this halfway mark. It's reached the halfway mark and kind of see what goes on over here. See, Blanco said I'm waiting for a buy on the 10-minute. If that helps, if price breaks 149. Okay, got you. So yeah, Blanco's looking for a buy confirmation here, and that's going to work in favor of our trade that's currently running. I'm in profit 21 points right now, about 800. It's 812 right now. Again, we have about, we'll say about 18 minutes until market open. Trying to get out before market open. So we're getting price push up right here. I'll be following it manually. I'm gonna have to drag this up from now because we're getting close to it. I wish there was a way to, well, I mean, there probably is a way, I just don't know how to do it, to adjust my ATM settings while it's active, but I don't know how to do it here. And I don't want to try anything new right now. I'll have to do this manually. All right, so we got market opening in about 18 minutes still, guys. The 60-point target's gonna be at 47,169. So I'll be looking to probably move my target up a little bit higher and then move my stop loss and profit. See that volatility up higher right there. So as long as the volatility starts to pick up, if the volatility stays low like this, I'm probably just gonna get out at the I'm just gonna get out at the 40 points. But we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna keep watching right here. The volatility might pick up. So I'm gonna move my stop loss, my target up to 69. All right, so this 1 to 2 trade is gonna turn into maybe a 1 to 3, 1 to 4. So I'm watching prices, it moves up. As it reaches its 40-point target at 149, I'm going to be moving my stop loss and profit to 149. And then I'll try to shoot for the 60. Either way, I'm going to manually pull before we get to 630, though. So if it doesn't push up by then, I'm going to be manually pulling for profit. So watch right here. I'm not going to move my finger yet because I don't want to be holding on to this for like forever. It's in profit about 1,000 right now. You can see my total P&L right now. In profit about 27 points. Dollar value is about 1,000. I'm gonna move my stop loss. You can see right here, I moved my target higher. My target initially was like right here. It's now up here. So it went from a 1 to 2 to a I don't know, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. All right, I'm following it. 614 right now. In profit 30 points currently. Um, let's see, the percentage for that to reach 60 points is about 66.7. So it's a pretty good percentage. Again, 149 is going to be my stop loss and profit. I'm going to be moving it up pretty soon, guys. Dragging it up right now. Just gonna watch it here. So this price reaches my 40, I move my stop loss and profit. It's almost there. I just gotta manually dragging my finger up here. So I'm hoping this thing just blasts right through it. 7:15, 6:15 right now, so we're getting closer to this market open at 6:30. So I want price to blast right through the liquidity right there and then push up higher and move my stop loss and profit. All right, let's go. Almost there at the target. If you want to go for that 1 to 2, you can get out at, well, at 47, 149. If you want to go for the higher target, which is what I'm doing, I'm going to move my stop loss and profit to 149. All right, we're at 149 right here. Let it push a little higher. It's a little bit higher. I mean, close above there. I don't want to drag it too soon. All right, it's going to pull me out already. All right, a little higher. Okay, perfect. Stop loss and profit. All right, I guaranteed 40 points right here. I'm gonna shoot for the 60. So I'm already at 1 to 2 guaranteed. Fucking good profit right there. Fuck, I'm out. All right, I'm out. So I was like, damn it. I knew it was gonna be too close. All right,
Stop, Phil.
whatever. I made so stop loss and profit right there. I made 1,600 on that trade. Not bad. Beautiful trade, guys. 40 points. Yeah, so what I did right here was I moved my stop loss and profit to the 40 right there, got out. Amazing trade right there. No drawdown, literally no drawdown. And I was gonna try to shoot for the 60, but the volatility just wasn't there. So great work, guys. Amazing profit to start off the day. So it doesn't matter what happens today. I'm gonna take the trade at 752. I can guarantee profit for the day, no matter what. I take a win, take a loss on the next trade, I can guarantee profit. So great way to start off the week, guys. Yeah, let's go. Let's go, guys. I already knew this was gonna happen. You guys saw my post. What did my post say? I know a lot of you guys, I posted that, and a lot of you guys like really like that post that I posted last night. What did I post that? It said October smells like lots of money, lots of love, lots of abundance, and a lots of blessings. So I'm excited for this month, guys. This month we're gonna be running the algo pretty much every day. It's gonna be the main thing I'm gonna be applying. Looking for 1 or 2 trades per day. Hopefully I can get one win because if you have one win, like if we take a one win for whatever day, we're guaranteed profits no matter what. We just need one win. So we got two opportunities to get in. We're either gonna make a 4R, which is gonna be quadruple our profit, or we're gonna make 2R. It's 4R, 2R, or negative 2R. So either you're gonna have a small loss, or you're gonna have a moderate win, or you're gonna have a big win. So great win, guys. Looks like you guys caught this with me right here. Nice work, Chris. Yeah, thanks, definitely. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, Daniel got it for 40 points as well. So amazing work right there, guys. Again, we reached this for 40 points. That's where I got out from. And then I'll clean this up right here. I'll show you guys my profits on that trade. So let me take a screenshot of this here. Let me clean this up. Either way, I was gonna pull out of this trade pretty soon because it is 6:18. So we're getting close to market open. All right, screenshot real quick. Nice. Karen got it. Alad got 4,800. Amazing, Alad. Look at Alad, madman over here trying to pass his eval of one trade. Or maybe you did pass your eval already, Alad. Amazing. Yeah, amazing profits. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in over here under the team profits, guys. This is your time to shine, guys. If you guys haven't been sharing your profits, I mean, you keep the momentum going. If you guys share your profits, it's going to get you excited for the next trade and the next trade and the next trade, and you're just going to want to keep hitting these wins back to back to back. And we're in a really good place here, guys. This algo that I have, it's like it's crazy. I feel like we've kind of entered the trading matrix. I talked about this, that we laugh about it, but it's real. It's crazy how accurate this is. Like imagine this, no drawdown. I woke up earlier than usual today. Usually I'm barely waking up right now, but I was like, money was on my mind since last night. I barely had any sleep. It took me like I was up until like about 1 a.m. putting this list together. But when I saw the odds and the numbers at the 6 o'clock, I was like, okay, for sure. I'm gonna wake up. Even if I'm gonna get, a few hours of sleep, I'm gonna wake up to make sure not to miss the 6 o'clock trade. Because the numbers were just perfect. It hits every single Monday as a 80% win ratio. This is gonna be even higher. So tomorrow or tonight when I run the stats, this is gonna be more like an 83, 84% win ratio because it just hit again. And you can see over here from my stats, this is the trade that I took. See the long position right here? Exit right there, perfect entry. So let me clean this up. Beautiful trade right there. We got 10 minutes till market open. And we'll see. I know Sam, right? Magic. Magic before your eyes right there with the breakout. All right, guys, so great trade right there. Great trade to start off the day. Like I said, it doesn't matter what happens for the rest of the day today. I'm in profit regardless. If I win the next trade or if I lose the next trade, it doesn't matter because I did a 1 to 2. So I'm going to be in profit regardless. So I'm not going to be too worried about taking the trade at 7:52. I'm just going to get into it like we did this morning, and I'm going to let it do what it needs to do. So here are my profits. I'm going to go and take let me kind of spread this out a little more. Oops. There we go. I'm really liking the fact that we're doing a 1 to 2 and then we're able to shoot for those higher targets. Because I mean, this would have been nice if we had the 60 hit. That would have been amazing because it'd be like a 1 to 3. It'd be super super in profit to start off. But I'm happy with what we got so far. Can't complain about making a 1 to 2 on this one. So we're currently up 2R for the day. All right, let me post this. Market's gonna open shortly, guys, in about 9 minutes. Let me post the profit over here real quick. If you guys are just joining in, unfortunately, looks like you guys missed out on that 6 o'clock trade we all took right there. It was an amazing trade, no drawdown. Those are the best trades, right? When there's no drawdown, because you're not worried about it. You just take the trade and you let the trade run, and then um, And then it's pretty much risk-free once you're like almost halfway in profit. So here are my accounts, guys. Pretty heavy profits right there. I'm gonna update my trader sync as well so we can get the totals on that one. But here are my profits so far if you guys are just joining in right there. I'll just put one of these because it's just a lot of work for me to go and put two on there. But yeah, if you guys are just joining in right here, here's the oh crap. Let's see what's the button for that. Copy image. There we go. Okay, so there are my stats over my trades so far. So I have a little more than this, but these are pretty much the profits that I locked in from that specific trade right there. As we get closer to market open, I'll mark up liquidity just so we have it marked up there. Let's see. Let me scroll over here real quick and see what questions we got. So Chris is asking Sean for the 752 trade. What is the probability for wins on Mondays? Let's take a look real quick. So glad that you asked that because now we can check. So the trade is at 9:52, or it's 7:52 our time, but 9:52 Central. Let's see what the probability is. So the trade with the 6 o'clock, it showed that it won pretty much every Monday. That's why I was confident about taking it. This is going to be with momentum, of course. Update that. I would never take a trade if it's 6% profitability, but let's see. The profitability is 73.3. Let's check the stats for it. So again, the days on Mondays, so let's see, September 29th, it was a win. That was last Monday. September 22nd, which is Monday before that, also a win. September 15th, the day before that, also win. So Monday, it's a win every single Monday. So just like our 6 o'clock trade, every Monday it typically hits. So I go with profitability, or I look at the probability of it hitting, and then also I look at the historical data to see if it hits on Mondays. It's hit pretty much every Monday, so my trade at 752 is going to be a no-brainer for me, right? Yeah, I don't care if it's like the odds are so stacked that I'm taking it. Yeah, exactly. Chris said, "Okay, good deal. I like it." Yeah. See, that's the good thing about it about this is that like you can use the we're basically trading off data, guys. So you know, the thing is, a lot of people they like to, and there's nothing wrong with trading this way. There's a different style for everybody's trading, right? A lot of people like to trade based off price, based off structure. It's really based off price. Like if you're trading supply and demand, support resistance, any of that stuff, you're basing your entries off price, right? For us, we're not basing our entries off price. Our entries are based off time. So my algorithm over here identifies that price moves at a certain time, right? 6 o'clock, it says that price reverses because it goes against momentum. So price was going down right here, and we did the opposite and we went against momentum because my stats over here indicated that that was the case, right? Over here at 752, it shows that price goes with momentum. So this shows that the price will continue moving in the same direction that it's been going. So ideally, I'm probably going to look for a buy there if we get to that point. Again, if you guys are just joining in, here are our profits so far. If you guys didn't get this trade, I told you guys in Discord I was probably going to get on a little earlier. Pretty great profit to start off the day right here. Looks like majority of you guys are here, but there's a couple people who came in a little later, which is perfectly fine, guys. We have another trade coming up at 7:52, so you guys are not missing out. We have another very high probable trade here at 7:52 that we'll be looking to take. This algo is crazy though, guys. Like, it's an understatement of like how powerful this algo is. I was pretty excited about it last week, and I'm even more excited about it now because it's so accurate. So. We'll see where this ends up going. I'm not really looking for any trades from now until 7:52. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. I think what I'll do here right now is I'm going to mark up liquidity for you guys. I know some of you guys here still like to trade liquidity, or you guys like to have it marked up on the chart, which I'm perfectly okay with marking up. It's just I'm not looking for any specific entries at this very moment. So here, I'll go ahead and just mark that up for you guys here. But if there's any other questions here, let's see. Sam is asking, Sean, did you try lesser stop loss like 15.10 during pre-market? No, I didn't, but I think it'd probably be even better. So now that you mention that, I do agree it's probably going to work even better because the volatility is so low, right? I don't really trade pre-market that much, so that never really crossed my mind to do that. But yes, I do agree that the I would probably be able to find better entries with a tighter TP stop loss because the volatility is so low, right? I think catching 40 points pre-market it's pretty far, right? Because the volatility is not really moving very much. Like our entry right here, if we had a tighter TP stop loss, like for example, we hit it at 15 at 20 right here. If we had it at 15, like you said, or even 10, we probably could have reached a 4 hour trade here because we could have went for 10 to 20 and then reached for the 40. Um, but the short answer to your question is no, I haven't tested that for pre-market because I usually don't trade pre-market. What I'm going to do here is I'm still going to follow this. I think this is probably still going to hit the 40, guys. I think the four or not the 40, the 60. So see how we're currently sitting at the 40? I think by 6:30 it's going to blast up and it's going to hit the 60 points that we were initially aiming for. Thing is, I don't want to put my trade at I don't want to put it at chance, right? I'm trading based off the numbers here, and I don't want to put it at chance getting it a little later. But yeah, solid way to start off the trading day, guys. The trading day and the trading week. So we basically guaranteed a green day today so far. Yeah, because the trade later it's going to be a 40-20, so it's going to be a 1 hour compared to the possibility of profit. All right, let's see what we got here. Um, so I'm just marking up liquidity here for you guys, or for those of you who still want it. Like I talked about earlier, guys, I don't really trade based off price anymore. It's just based off time. So this year's, I'm not going to say it's irrelevant, but I'm not trying to trade off these levels. I'm really trying to trade off the times that give me a high probability. It's going to be good to have these levels here though, so that we can identify targets when we do get into our momentum positions. But I'm really just trying to piggyback the ride. Talanji said, buy breakout is very tempting. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, but I'm gonna stick to my algo for my entries here. If you gave me a good you gave me a good
Here's your
setup
loss.
at 6:30, I probably would, but but it didn't. So we'll kind of see where it ends up going. Man, TradingView's a little laggy today. All right, let's take a look at the breakout. If you guys are looking to take the breakout for today, the regular breakout is going to be a buy. If you guys are looking to take it. So the regular breakout on open is going to be a buy here. We're starting to get a lot of volatility here as market gets closer to open. I'm not in this position here, but we already took our position for the day. So you guys see this big spike right here? This is why I don't trade I don't trade what's it called on market open anymore. The 6:30 open, this is like it's super erratic, it's super random. It's really hard to predict. So kind of depending on like which direction you're taking with or against momentum. I talked about this with Talanji, like the numbers are about the same. If you take it with or without or against momentum, you're gonna yield about the same profit. It's just sometimes it's gonna be profitable than others, and then it's good to kind of flip it around. So I think this is one of those times, Talanji, where we looked at the data, and the data here is actually good to go against, or let me check real quick. Yeah, the entries at 6:30 are super tricky. I don't like putting my trades at risk. So it's really good that we pulled out right here at the 40 because look what would have happened if we held on to it longer. So I'm happy with my 40 points right there. All right, guys, if you guys are just joining in, I'm looking for entry right here at 752. Let's see, Sam said when you have time later after the session, have a look. What's the harm? May get a 1 to 3 RR. Yeah, exactly, Sam. I'm glad you mentioned that. So I'll try to look it up and see see what I can find there. I'm pretty sure I can find an edge because it's based directly off momentum. And as long as there's, at least some volatility there, there's a high probability of it actually reaching those points, especially if it's a small target. Like the 40 points here was tricky. I mean, not tricky, but it was pretty far out compared to if you're going for like 20 or something smaller than that. Yeah, Talanji said didn't touch it because it didn't break the high. Yeah, which is probably a good decision, Talanji. Um, I mean, you already have a nice win over here for pre-market move at 6. If you guys are just joining in, I posted the my trades over here. So I posted my trades last night. We were looking for this trade right here at 6 o'clock. This is the one that we took. I said my target entry right here. So I sent this last night at about 11:53 p.m. So this morning I got up a little earlier than usual to take this trade here at 6 o'clock. We took that trade. So if you guys weren't here on the live session, we took it right here for a win. And here are my profits from that for the day so far. So I only took one trade. It was that one. And here are my profits so far for the day and for the week. So pretty good profits to start off the week. These aren't all of my accounts. It's just a portion of them. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna update my my trader sync actually. But this is what I gotta do. I gotta share my screen with you guys. I think I'm only sharing trading view with you guys here. I'm gonna share my whole screen with you guys. Okay, so here's my whole screen. Um, so I don't have any entries until 7:52. If you guys have any questions or want me to look at anything, I have time to look at stuff right now, but I don't really have anything coming up until 7:52. That's my next entry for my algo over here. And we have the stats right here. It's a 73.33% win ratio. Um, Typically wins on Mondays. And I'm just waiting for this entry to come up a little later. There's another one later at 8:54, but it's a little late in the session, so I'm probably not going to look to take that one. Um, let's see where the 10-minute was for this. Just kind of curious to see where the momentum was for the 10. And I'm really curious to see how much profit I made across my accounts over here for my trader sync. So, and this thing is just taking forever to load. Oh, I know why. Because my algo is running in the background. There we go. Yeah, so it was a buy here regardless. Looks like it wouldn't have played out, of course. I keep forgetting my algo takes like 40 seconds to load, so it's still loading. You know what? The trade's actually still running, guys. If you guys took the buy here for a 50-50, if you take a smaller target, it'd be stop out already. But if you're taking a 50-50, it's still technically active right now. Not in this position, but this would be the breakout on open. All right, so what was I gonna do? Sorry, I just lost my train. Oh, yeah, I was going to show you guys my thing. Okay, so here are my stats for the year so far for not with including this trade. So from Friday, these are my gross profits, 739,250. For October right here, I was up 100,000 from last week. So there's more profit for Monday, Tuesday because we had pretty much a winning week all week. Um, so let me add the profits from the six right here, and then we'll kind of see where that's at. I started a little early today, guys, so I don't have the my outlook for the day. If you guys want it, just let me know. I have time to still produce it, but I just didn't put it together because I didn't have time this morning. So price is still dumping pretty hard right now. I'm not in any positions at the moment. I just took one trade, which was this one pre-market, which we hit, and then now I'm waiting for my next entry at 7:52. Let me mark up opening price right here. Yeah, it's nice when we have the probabilities on our side, right? We're not just taking random entries here on open. We're taking only the entries that give us high probability. I didn't have any probability for 6:30. Like there's no good entries at 6:30 or around that time. So, I mean, there just was nothing to take there. There's actually one right here at 6:27. It was with momentum. Actually, okay, so if you took this trade right here, there was one trade that was right before pre-market, 627. If you would have taken that for a 2040, it looks like you would have hit your target, your TP for that as well. So 627, which was right here. Yeah, this would have been a full TP with like literally no drawdown. So that would have been a great entry right there, 627. The market open here at 630. If you took that, the sell right there would have played out perfect. So, you could pick and choose which entries you guys decide to take. I took the one at 6 o'clock, but if you want to take something down here, the win ratio is not as high. It was like 60%, but still it's above 50. So you still have odds in your favor. But anyways, okay, let me go ahead and update my positions real quick. It's TraderSync kind of takes a while to upload everything. So I just brought it to another window here to update. And I'll show you guys shortly. It's updating right now. Just doing my personal account first. So here are the team profits. Here's Ryan. He locked in 626 from that entry this morning. Nice work, Ryan. And then we got Jarrell over here as well. Jarrell killed it, almost 1,000 for the day. Nice work, Jarrell. You're gonna be getting those accounts passed pretty quickly now that you have the consistency there. The session is inactive state. Check my trader sync. My trades get updated year to date. Calendar. Oh, weird. Today's the 6th. Yeah, I think Ross, you asked me about this question last week about how to auto sync my accounts or how to auto sync your accounts. Honestly, I just realized that that was a function here, Ross, on TraderSync. I'm trying to auto sync right now. Actually, I have a lot of accounts though, so I might have to do it manually. Well, I don't have a lot of accounts. I have like 21 accounts. So it's not a crazy amount of accounts, but still, I think the auto sync, I always get these errors because there's too many and it just gives me a, I don't know, I get this weird error. All right, so there's no entries for me right now, guys. We're still kind of just waiting for my entry over here at 752. Let's watch the main chart over here. So looking at the main chart so far, we currently have overall market structure is pretty mixed. If you look over here on the 1, 5, and 15, it's bearish. 31 hour, 4 hours is strong bullish. So the higher time frames are still very bullish, but the lower time frames are bearish. And we'll kind of see where this ends up hitting. Let's take a look at the orb entry for today. So the orb actually hit full TP right now. Looks like a lot of these breakout entries are starting to pretty play out and flow now that we have some direction today. So the orb right here, full TP, if you guys took that, I think my next step right now, I'm focusing mainly on my own algo right now, but I think the next step, if I have some free time, is I'm gonna create an algo here for the orb so we can get the numbers and the data for this. I know some of you guys really like to take the orb. The orb is a great strategy, but I'd like to have the numbers in front of me to know exactly, what is what is going to be like the best time to take the orb, what's the best time frame to take it, what's the best TP stop loss, stuff like that. Because this thing is crazy. We have all this data here for the momentum. Imagine if I had all the data here for the orb. That'd be pretty nuts because you'd have like so much information, and you'll know exactly which orb to take, which orb to avoid, right? Which days to skip, which days to take, etc. I'm really liking these algorithms now, guys. So like for the longest time, I've done everything manually, but now that I have this algorithm and I have an idea and I understand how to make algorithms now, with these screeners, it's going to be super, super useful because my goal here is now to make an algorithm for pretty much every strategy that I have so that I can have the actual numbers. The momentum's fine as is. I mean, this is great, what we have here. But imagine if I had an algorithm for every single Kodi Kai strategy, right? We have like maybe 18 strategies. And if we had an algorithm to identify the probabilities for every single strategy, that'd be nuts. Because then you could know exactly which strategy to apply at what time, when to take it, what day to take it, and it opens up a lot of opportunity for for you to make more profit, right? I think that's, bigger picture here is like once I open my own, prop firm that we talked about, it's gonna be cool because I can assign certain people to specific strategies and specific markets. Like right now, we're only trading YM. Imagine if we had someone trading NQ, ES, gold, oil, all that stuff, the same strategy. That's a lot of profit to be made, right? It's a lot of money on the table. So We'll see. I mean, I have a lot of ideas, which is going to mean a lot more profit for not just me, but for you guys, especially you guys here who are following me. In the future, in the future, we're probably gonna have to like keep this a little more confidential, of course. I mean, it wouldn't matter because my algorithm is protected. It's not like someone can see what my code is here for this. And even though we have this here, I'm always going to be improving it. So every day I'm pulling this data and I'm improving our algorithm more and more so it learns and it gets better. But yeah, it's we got a ways to go. Anyways, guys, let me clean this up a little bit. This liquidity has been knocked through. This liquidity right here also knocked through. Is there any more targets down here? I don't think so. All right, for some reason my trader sync is not updating, so I might have to do this manually. It's kind of annoying that I have to do this, but it's okay. I'm just gonna have to add a new account. That's what I did last week. Let's see. Blanco said, bro, what the hell is good with this market? I know that the market is all over the place right now. This thing is dumping pretty heavy. There's no news for today. If you look at the calendar, there is no news for the day. So a lot of this big push to the downside is kind of uncalled for. Let me go and measure this real quick. Price has dumped down about, I mean, it's not that far. It looks like it's dropped super far, but it's dropped down about 135 points. So it's dropped down a pretty good amount. It's nothing extreme, but yes, it is. This is a big dump right here for a day with no news. Um, we were hitting all-time highs last week, so maybe that's the case. That's trying to it's selling off and stuff to balance price. But yeah, it's kind of weird that it's dumping like this. So the thing with the trade here, this is what I'm looking for at 752, right? At 752, I'm looking for price to maybe start to flatten out and then correct back up. Ideally, I think I'd rather take a buy here because I think price is kind of dumped down for a bit. I'm gonna look for it to kind of flatten out down here and then start to pick up slightly and then take it right back up to open. But we'll see. And we're not going to predict the direction of price, right? We're just going to take whatever momentum is providing for us. Well, all we know is that it's going to be with the direction of momentum. All right, let me try to get my trades uploaded here on TraderSync. It's taking a while. Let's see, question from Josh. Nice, Josh. I'll message you in a little bit, Josh. I do see your message, but I'll message you in a little bit. I think that it could wait, so I'll get back to you a little later. All right, so not much going on here. Again, we're just kind of following price. Price is dumping pretty heavy right now. Here, let me scroll down the Zoom, guys. I'm just seeing you guys' messages right now. Yeah, David said yes. Gold had some pretty high probabilities last week as well. Yeah, a lot of them were pretty much hitting through the stats that I saw. They were basically if the asset has volatility, which is pretty much every futures asset, there's not really a futures asset out there that's dead, or they just wouldn't be listed. There's a whole list of them. So like for example, if you guys wanted to trade, this specific algo on other assets, like pretty much everything on the list here would be fair game, right? If you wanted to trade NQ, you could do that. And ES, you would just look for the trades that have the highest probability, something higher than like maybe a 60%. MNQ, GC, ES, MGC, crude oil, CL, Bitcoin futures, silver, Russell 2K, Nifty. There's just a ton of assets here to trade the strategy if you guys want it. Um, Over the weekend, guys, I wasn't able to. So what I was gonna do is I was gonna publish this so that some of you guys can test it out and try different assets. But I ran into some glitches with not there weren't bad glitches, but what I noticed with the screener here is that you have to double check. So for example, It might have been my mistake, honestly. I think what was happening here is I had the wrong dates set up over here down below because I was checking like the data for the year, data for the 90 days or the 30 days, and it wasn't lining up with the win rate here. So I think I probably screwed it up by kind of playing with the settings a little too much. Um, but yeah, I was about to publish this so that you guys can use it, but I just ran into some issues. So hopefully by this week I'll publish this. And then for those of you who wanted access to this and try this out for yourself, I'll try to get it to you guys by this week. No promises, but I'll try to get it to you guys this week so that you guys can kind of help me because putting this list together. So I'll share the list here. So I pretty much I put this list together by hand every single morning, not every morning, every evening. So at night, every day, I go down and I look at what trades have the highest probability. And honestly, this does take me a while. Like I was kind of stressing last night because I was up until like almost 1 a.m. putting this list together. Because what I do is I put the list together and then I go through the list of trades to see what's like really good. Like for example, I have a note here, right? At 5:30. I said this was a good entry, but it's a risk holding it into market open manipulation. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to take the 5:30 trade. But then I saw this one over here and I was like, okay, this one has a 73.3% win ratio. It wins every single Monday. So I'm going to take this one here. And that's the one that we took there at 6 o'clock. So I think it's going to be helpful if I could have you guys, or not really have you guys, but you guys could be a second set of eyes to identify entries here um, with me. So if I miss something, you guys could probably catch it and give some input, whether a trade's going to be risky or if it's going to be good or if it's going to be bad. Because it's super helpful to have a second set of eyes, or not even a second set, but like three or four or five set of eyes to review my trades and make sure that I'm crossing all T's, dotting all I's, making sure everything is good to go. Blanco, yeah, I know. It's dumping super heavy. Blanco, he was looking for a buy earlier for price to push up higher. I was looking for a buy too. I mean, I'm still looking for a buy here. I'm gonna look for this here to kind of flatten out a little bit and then climb back up so that our entry over here at 650, 752 is gonna be a buy. Ideally, I'd like to take a buy, but if it still pushes down for a sell, I'm okay with taking that sell. The numbers here still are okay with me. I'm not stuck on focusing on one specific direction. So we'll see. Man, I don't know what's up with TraderSync. It keeps giving me this error. Keeps telling me that the accounts aren't loading up, but for some reason, maybe if I log out, let's see. Let me log out of TraderSync. The thing is, I'm only trying to log into like my main account. I'm not even logging into my other ones. But for some reason, it's not uploading my position. All right, let's do this again. NinjaTrader. Sometimes TraderSync does this where it takes a while for it to like the trade has to be it has to be set for like a certain amount of time. Like I took that trade at 6 o'clock. Credentials expired. Please review them and try again. I don't get this. I just logged in. Hmm. Okay, well, it's fine. I mean, I don't need to log into TraderSync. You guys already see my profits over here, so all I wanted to do was have TraderSync kind of add it up, so I don't have to do the math. But it's fine. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I'll do it at the end of the session. I think at the end of the session I'll be able to get it up. But for whatever reason, right now TraderSync is just not. The API is not syncing to NinjaTrader. I'm gonna do it one last time. If it doesn't load up my personal account, I'm just not gonna. This thing is still dumping, Blanco. So you got any you made any sense of this yet? This session is in active state due to SQL transaction being rolled back. No further SQL can be emitted to this transaction. Okay, it's fine. I'll do it later with my TraderSync. I'll just put my TraderSync back over here so that you guys can see my stats for the year so far. So Okay, so these are my stats for the year so far. We'll do year to date. So these are my trading stats from January 2nd up until last week, October 3rd. That's as far as I was able to upload my data. Looking at the calendar data over here. So we could assume that this profit over here was about 40,000. So I made about like 40 for the day. Because this is like from one trade on Friday that we took for 40 points. So I'm expecting this to be another up 40. When I'm able to upload or update my data here, I'll show you guys, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. We have one more trade that's kind of linked up a little later at 7:52. We got about an hour from there, from now until then. So I'm not looking to take anything here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Looking at the overall market structure, they're kind of mixed around at the moment. Let's see. Talanji said check the 30-minute. Let's check it out. Let's go 30. I'm gonna go on a different time frame. I don't want to mess with these charts because if I mess with these charts, the algorithm is going to. Actually, I can do it on this one. I just don't want to touch the breakout charts because the breakout charts here are going to mess with the algorithm. All right, so 30-minute time frame. Damn, look at that 30-minute candle. That's a huge candle right there. The crazy thing is there's no news pushing price down like this. Like if you look at the calendar for the day, or maybe there is. Let me check Forex Factory. I don't believe there's nothing going on today. So for Monday, there's no news. Forex Factory is no news. Let's check CNBC real quick. Maybe we're missing, maybe something's happening that we're not aware of, but I don't see anything here. No breaking news here for BizTalk. Check Financial Juice. I'm basically checking all my news sources to see like, is there something here that's happening behind the scenes that we're just not aware of? But there's no breaking news for today. There's like literally nothing here that's causing this big of a dump. It's a big candle. So for the past 30 minutes, this candle has dumped. It's over 200 points now. So now this is considered a big candle. Earlier, I was telling Blanco that this wasn't that big because it was like 100 points. It was like over here earlier. It's now 200, over 200 points. So this has actually been dumped. It's dumped pretty heavily, a little too heavily. Um, it's okay. It doesn't skew my positioning. So like for later today or like for the entry later, it doesn't skew it. Whatever we get for the algo later, I'll still be looking to take it. The good thing is that, this weird movement is probably going to be over with, and then hopefully it starts to balance out right here at 7:52. So we have a whole hour to just wait for the market here to stabilize and kind of balance out before we take any entries anyways. So I'll be hanging out, waiting for this here to kind of provide us some direction. But yeah, this thing is still dumping even further. Let's see. Blanco said this drop down makes no sense at all. There's nothing going on today. I agree. So this is why I'm glad that I have my algo here because I'm not really looking to take anything, right? I'm really not looking to take anything here. So looking at this, there was actually a possibility for entry here at 649. So 649, there was an opposite entry. I mean, good thing we didn't take it. It's not that I would have taken it, but 649, which is, yeah, I mean, this year would have stopped out. It didn't have a high probability of it winning anyways. It was a 60%. The next entry would be at 710. So if you want to see a reversal, possibly look for that reversal at 710. I think price might start turning around here. That's if market moves where it's supposed to, which very random right now. So if you guys are looking for price to flip, my algo over here shows that a reversal happens around 710. It's not a big probability. It's a 60% probability that it flips. But it could be an insight if you guys are looking to take buys here. So probably look for momentum to flip the other way at 710. And then the next probability is gonna be at 751. My entry's at 752. So I'm not looking to take anything until here. My algo doesn't have anything between now and then. All right, caffeined up for the day. And that was weird. All right, so now that we have some downtime, let's see what Sam was mentioning earlier. So Sam was mentioning, possibility of lower lower targets for like pre-market. So I'm gonna just kind of mess with the settings over here for a little bit. Let's see. So Sam was kind of mentioning like we'll do like 2010, right? And this is gonna be like pre-market. So I'll look for entries between we'll do t- we'll do 12 a.m. So that's gonna be okay. So I'll put 002, which is gonna be midnight, up until pre-market, which is gonna be we'll say 4 o'clock, right? All right, let's see what the probabilities are for the really, really tight TP stop losses. This is going to update right now, my screener. So you can see down here it's updating. My algo is looking for trades that have a 20-point target, 10-point stop loss, basically between midnight and 4 a.m. I'm waiting for my screener here to load up so I can get like the best times. I only go for trades that have higher than like a 65% win ratio or probability of it winning. All right, letting it load up. It's taking some time here. I'm really curious now that Sam mentioned that because if that's the case, this tool might be really strong for someone that likes to trade early pre-market, like London session. Not for me, of course, because I like sleep. So I'm not going to be up with you guys trading this at midnight. But for those of you who have a tool, um, let me refresh. This is taking longer than it should. There might be too much data, so I might not be able to. What I might have to do is I might have to adjust the times. So you can see my algo over here, it's currently working. When my algo is working, what it's doing is it's running pretty much all possible trade scenarios between midnight and um and 4 a.m. Let's see, Blanco said I'm going to wait for the reversal, but it never tested my zone. So if I wait, I could take a nice buy. Yeah, I agree with you too. Visual said for the first time got 200 points on the 2-minute orb. Nice work, Visual. Yeah, that thing dumps super heavy. So, like, I mean, you're trying to shoot for those 200 points. It's a pretty big push to the downside. Damn, look at this thing right here. This is crazy. The orb had 10 targets. So basically 10 standard deviations to the downside. So if you guys take the orb right here, yeah, this thing dropped down almost 300 points. Again, like what Blanco said, this is crazy. This is like very unusual for it to dump. Like it's crazy how smoothly it dumped down, right? No retracement, no pullbacks, just straight dump 300 points. It's nuts. Nice work, Visual. Love to see you guys win. Again, it doesn't matter what strategy you guys are applying. I like to see you guys win regardless. If you guys are applying my strategy, you guys are applying your own strategy. Visual takes a different variation to the orb here. And the thing is, it's still dropping even further. Lago said, Visual, you did this. I know Visual is continuing controlling the market today. It's still dropping, guys. It's crazy. It's down 300 points now. So yeah, earlier we said this was not unusual. This is now very, very unusual, guys. That this thing, I don't know, are we going to a market crash or like what's going on here? Because there's nothing going on. I mean, other than the government closure, I mean, there's government shutdown right now, but you know what? It might be because of the government shutdown, guys. Because you got to think about it. Every day the government shut down, a lot of government organizations are like people aren't getting paid, federal contracts are not being processed. That like it's a domino effect when the government shut down like this. There's there's a ton of government programs out there like healthcare, uh, loans, right? Mortgage loans, federal workers, courts. There's everything's closed. Majority of things are closed for the most part. I think like 60 to 70% of stuff that is closed during the government shutdown. So I think this here is because of the government shutdown. There's nothing else really happening that's causing markets to dump like this. Let's check CNBC real quick. Yeah. Look at CNBC right here. It's only the Dow, which I think is crazy. The Dow is down 260 points. S&P is down. It's still up 5 points. Nasdaq is up to 80 points, but the Dow is down extremely low. Now I'm kind of curious to see what's causing this dump. Let me look at the index over here. See, there hasn't even the crazy thing is there hasn't even been breaking news over here. So government shutdown. Here's the most recent news. It happened about 36 minutes ago. It said Trump could start taking sharp measures if government funding bills fail. I mean, which is what's happening at the moment. Uh, damn, this thing is still dumping pretty crazy. I didn't think about that, but I saw a couple articles over the weekend. It basically said that like because of the government shutdown, a lot of things. So also, I think this is all like not all this, but the government shutdown is like it's Trump's way to fire people, right? Because now that we're in this government shutdown, he has the ability to fire a ton of people. Um, he's been trying to clean house for a while now. You remember when Doge was around, right? When Elon Musk was kind of doing stuff and firing everybody within the government. Because the government shut down right now, this is going to give an excuse for Trump to just fire a bunch of federal workers, like that are technically not doing anything, right? That just kind of have like a cushiony job. Um, man, where is that at? Let me see. I wish I could. I should have saved it. Okay, here's the post right here. No, it's not. Damn, I wish I would have saved it. I was reading the article last night actually when I was putting the stats together. It basically gave me like these numbers of like all these different government programs that are because of the government shutdown. There's money that's not being allocated, right? Like FHA loans. If you guys are in the US or in California, we have this thing called an FHA loan where it's like it's a government-backed program where people can buy homes for like a low rate and for a little money, right? The thing is like because the government shutdown's happening, all those FHA loans and mortgage loans, they're not getting passed through. So that's like the number was pretty huge. I think on a monthly basis, it was like almost in the billions, like 1 billion or like the high millions of mortgage loans that are not getting processed. So every day that it passes, there's like millions of dollars that are not getting passed through government, and it's going to affect the housing market because a lot of people who are waiting to buy these houses, they can't buy the houses now because they're not getting funding for their mortgage. And it's just a domino effect. It kind of affects everything. Yeah, it kind of affects everything in a sense. But yeah, anyways, it's still dumping, guys. So we'll kind of see where this ends up going. Liquidity here is getting pretty much knocked out. Let me open the Dow. So what I wanted to do here is I wanted to open the index to see what stock is dumping it down right now. Let me check real quick. So Dow 30, CNBC. So what's okay? It's kind of random companies. Like I wasn't expecting Home Depot to be kind of dumping it down right. Not really, but Home Depot. So the biggest drops right now are with Home Depot, Goldman Sachs, but they're not even big drops. I'm like not I'm not really understanding why is it dropping so heavily because it's down 200 points. I mean, there's a good amount of companies here. Okay, so now that I'm looking at it, so for some reason, Home Depot is really, really down. I don't know if Home Depot did something to cause this. I don't know if they have earnings this week or whatever, but Home Depot is down 8 points. Goldman Sachs is down 8 points. Sherman-Williams is down 5 points. I mean, I'm not expecting a paint company to really dump the Dow. McDonald's is down 4 points. Caterpillar is down 3 points. Salesforce is down 3 points. JP Morgan's down 3 points. Amex is down 3 points. Visa is down 3 points. It looks like a lot of these finance companies they're kind of low right now. I mean, they're not super, super low, I was expecting there to be like a couple companies here that were like maybe negative 10, 20 or something like that. But I mean, this doesn't translate to a 300 point dump right now. Like the Dow is down 300 points, but it shows here that there's not really that many stocks here that are like, so these are basically all the red stocks. If you're curious what's kind of dumping US 30 right now or the Dow, it's these red stocks. But I don't really see anything here that's except for Home Depot. So Home Depot and Goldman Sachs, okay, those are like outliers. They're down 7 points. Everything else here is not really that crazy. I'm just trying to make sense of like the big drops here so that we can have an idea if it's going to flip back up. If this is the case and this thing keeps dumping, I might not even take the algo trade later. I need to see the market here kind of flatten out and then push back up for me to take that algo trade because I don't want to trade against the sell here, right? If I don't want to trade against the sell and it keeps dumping even further, because the algo it's not going to take into account the outliers, right? So for example, the first reversal is probably going to happen right here at 710. If this reversal doesn't happen, then this reversal over here is probably not going to happen either. Or no, this is going to be with momentum. So what I'd like to see here is I'd like to see a reversal happen from your market to flatten out, reversal, and then continuation right here. Because the 710 is against momentum, so it's supposed to be a reversal. And then my entry at 752 is with momentum, so it's supposed to be a continuation. So I'm expecting a reversal to happen right here around this time, and then I'm looking for a continuation to happen right here. So basically, reversal up, continuation. Yeah, because so here's the thing. My algo, it pulls data from like historical data. So pretty much it pulls all the data from like the previous trades that happened in the past. It doesn't pull outliers, right? So if there's something crazy happening today, the algo is not going to be able to identify that because this is kind of it's a random event that's happening. Yeah, PC said GG, 4 hour range, fake out, reversal coming soon. Okay, great. If that's the case, and PC's analysis is going to line up with mine right here. I'm looking for reversal right here at 710. Okay, it's too much data. So let me change this real quick. We'll just do it in 2 hour intervals. So my algorithm right here wasn't pulling the data because it was too much data for it to pull between that period. All right, let's see if the reversal happens right here, guys. Again, 7 o'clock or 710 is supposed to be a reversal. And then we're looking for the continuation here at 752. If we don't get an entry, I'm not, it's not going to make or break my day. I'm already in profit for the week or for the day and for the week. So I don't need to force anything here. If you guys are just joining in, we took a trade over here at 6 o'clock. Some craziness happened right here as price dumped. We didn't get caught in any of this. We didn't catch any of this. This is an outlier. This isn't a regular event for price to really dump like this. There's no news today. The only thing that's really affecting the market, in my opinion, is really going to be the market, the government shutdown. So if you look over here, the Dow is the only thing that's red right now. Everything else is still green. S&P's up, Nasdaq's up, Russell 2000's up. It's just a Dow, which is very, very unusual because let me go to S&P real quick. So let's go to ES. I mean, ES is dumping too, but it's not dumping as hard as the Dow. Either way, they're still dumping. So this is dumping right here. Let me go to NQ real quick. NQ is not as bad. It's kind of choppy, but it's not dumping like how YM is. YM is pretty much dumping. So it looks like we established a floor here. Okay, 710. It's currently a buy right now. So if you guys are looking to get into this reversal, like I mentioned, I have the line marked up there. It's 710. It's going to be for a 45.90. So 90 point target, 45 point stop loss. 1 to 2. I'm not in this position, but I'll be following it. If this is the case and the reversal happens, then I'm going to be lining up with my entry later today at 752, my target entry. Let's see if my algo is as good as it as we think it is. Let's see if it's able to predict or anticipate the move even during a I don't want to call this a black swan event, but this is more of like a random event. So let's see for an outlier day if my algorithm is still able to identify the reversal here. The thing is, this reversal happened every day for the past 15 days. So basically 2 weeks. For the past 2 weeks, price reversed right here at 710. I mean, it's looking good so far. It's looking good. All right, 90 points. That's a pretty nice move to the upside right there. So I'm looking for the reversal right here at 710, and then I'm looking for the continuation over here at 752. All right, it's in profit, 40 points. So if you went for a 40-20 right there, full TP already on your 40-20. Here, let's mark up the levels here. So 40-20 already hit. I'll just go in increments of 20 because the 10-point increments are kind of too tight. So 40's already hit, the 60's right there, the 80's right here. Damn, the algo is spot on. Like literally no drawdown. My algo over here identified this entry for reversal at 710 at a 60% probability of winning, and it's flying right now. Yeah, I kind of no, I don't regret it, but kind of wish I took that entry. That was a spot on entry right there. Great entry. Literally no drawdown. So 40 points already hit right there. It's on its way up to the 90. My algo over here identified a 90-point move. I kind of have these lined up here just in case you guys want to move your stop loss and profit or follow through with it. Um, David said, be nice if we had this algo for the lottery. I know, right? If you have the probabilities, I mean, anything above a 50% probability is going to be in your favor, right? Because you have an edge. Obviously, I like the bigger probabilities. So, like, I go for like maybe a 70% or even higher than that. But yeah, anything above 50%, you have an edge there. And if you're trading with a 1 to 2 risk to reward, that gives you even double edge. So, you really just need a 33.33 probability. Anything above 33 is going to be, odds of it hitting for you, of course. So right here, it's already hit 60 points, guys. So 40 points hit, 60 points hit. Now it is going to reach for that 80. The full target's going to be 90 points here. So if you guys follow that algo move right there at 710, spot on. Spot on. I'm not in this position, but I was just looking at this. This is a good confluence for my next entry at 752. So of course, I would love for this to hit. And then continuation later at 7:52. We got about 40 minutes till then, so I'm still hanging back for a little bit. But if you guys are just joining in, these are my profits for the day so far. I have two sets of profits right here. So this is my first set of accounts, and then my second set right here. So if you guys were on this live session earlier, if you guys want to get in on these trades, just get on earlier, right? I was on at 6 o'clock today. Gave you guys a heads up. I was getting on a little earlier today. And these are the profits right there. Damn. All right, so the algo is pushing up, guys. It's currently at 60 points right now. It's pushing up to the 80 points. Pushing up to the 80 points. It's not there yet, but it is pushing up to the 80 points. Let's see. Let's see. Question from, or let's see. Blanco City's getting in for a buy at 812 if it confirms. Okay, got you. So he's waiting for it to confirm at 812, which is cool. 812. It's not up there yet, but yeah. So the 812 is gonna be close to the New York low right here. New York low and London low around that point. So if you guys are just joining in, these are my profits for the day. I only took one trade here at 6 o'clock pre-market. Got that for 40 points. I have two sets of accounts. This is just one. Here, I could show you both. So these are both of my accounts here. That's the first one, and this is the second one. So these are all of my accounts. I was trying to update my trader sync, but it's just not updating right now. But this is how much profit I locked in from this trade over here at 6 o'clock. All right, I'm not gonna leave this on here. It's unnecessary. I'm not here to show off the profits. I'm just showing you that we're at net profit for the day for that first trade. I'm looking to get in right here at 752 though. This is gonna be the next entry I'm looking to take. This is with momentum, so I'm looking for a continuation. Basically, if I see a bullish momentum here, I'm looking to continue riding this up higher. However, if we get a bearish momentum, say for example, price comes up and it swings back down, I'll be riding it down. I don't know the direction yet until we get to that time, but I'll be looking for it as we get closer to that point. All right, we're getting into a range now. So we're range bound right now between this period. This is normal. Between 7 o'clock and 8, we typically go into range bound movement. So this isn't a surprise. The trade's still technically running right now. So the trade that we were talking about at 710, it hit 40 points. If you guys pulled out at 40, full TP on that one. If you went for 60, it full TP'd right there at 60 as well. The 80-point marker is right here, and then the 90-point marker is right here. So I'm expecting this to climb up and hit the full 90. It's just a matter of time until it does. You know, we might go into consolidation here, and then eventually price might continue climbing up. This looks like a small target, but this is a really big target. It's 90 points. It's just because we had this big dump right here, so that's why this was happening earlier. Let's see. Hindsight said, Sean, is this all part of the monthly subscription, indicators, algo, etc.? So yes and no. Everything but the algo, right? The algo right here is going to be temporarily available to like certain people who ask me if they can test it or ask to be on the list. They're going to have access to it. This is probably going to be separate because this is too powerful. I might not even share this with the general public, right? Whoever has been part of the group for a while, or whoever's part of the group now, you guys will have access to this, or you might be able to get access to this separately. But this is probably not going to be available to like the general public, honestly. You guys can see how powerful this thing is. I don't really want to share this because my edge here is so strong, right? Every trade I take has such a high probability. There's no reason for me to share this with you guys. But because you guys have been here with me for a while, a lot of you guys who are here, I'll share it with you guys, right? If you guys have been part of the group and you're not brand new, you'll probably have access to it because I'm okay with sharing it with like a good handful of people, especially you guys here, which are like friends, right? But yeah, I'm not trying to share this with like the world. I'm not trying to put this like where everybody can use it because then this is going to dilute our edge, right? So yes, hindsight, if you do have access to the indicators and the monthly, then yes, you'll probably have access to this for time being. Um, Here's the thing, like the thing is I trade YM. If you use this for other assets like ES, NQ, gold, any of those other assets, this is going to be very, very powerful. I mean, some people don't like to trade YM, right? For me, I've been trading YM every day for 8 years. So for me, this makes sense for me to use it on YM. So I don't mind if people use my algo on different assets. It's just I don't want the whole world applying the algo on YM because this is my asset, right? I want to keep this to myself. But if you guys want to trade this on something like NQ, ES, gold, Russell, crude oil, I mean, whatever other asset, you know, you look up the futures assets, it's pretty much endless. Like you can run this algo on pretty much any, it doesn't even have to be futures. You can trade this on, you know, this is one thing that I was really curious about. I'm curious about applying it on stocks. So I'm like kind of curious now. I haven't even looked at this on a stock, but I want to see if the algo works well on stocks here. Obviously, this is gonna be a lot of work. It's because I have to figure out what the target should be for this here. Damn, that's crazy. Oh, this is only like 6 trades. See, the stocks are a little different because you can't run as much data, but you can see over here, I ran this algo on NVIDIA. It has an 83.33% win ratio. Right here, pretty much a nice push to the upside. So that's pretty interesting. This is another thing that I wanted to look at because the thing is, my algo works on every asset, or whatever's on TradingView. Um, so I was curious to see if I can find some data here on something like a specific stock, like Nvidia. It looks like it works really well too, 83%. I don't know what's another good stock that people trade, Amazon. And I have to change the data here because the data is obviously it's not going to be the same. Yeah, but I'll play around with that on my own time. I'm not going to do that while I'm here with you guys. We're going to stick to what we're currently looking at right now. Um, but yeah, I mean, short answer to your question, hindsight is yes, you get access to pretty much all this stuff. The algo is just different, so just keep that in mind. The algo is different. It's probably going to be available to some extent, but you're probably not going to have full access to it. Yeah, this edge is crazy. I mean, like for me, it makes more sense for me to just keep this to just our small group, like for whoever's here, and then we just keep multiplying. I mean, this is basically a money printer at this point, right? When it comes down to it, because we're using the probabilities in our favor. But the thing is, like, there's a lot of entries. So if you look at the list here, there's a lot of entries that come up. Doesn't necessarily mean we take all of them. We just take the ones that have the highest probability and the ones that just make sense. So this trade from 710, guys, it's still running. Depending if you guys pulled out at 40 points, the 40 points is already done. 60 points is already done. And the 80 points is still running as well. So let's see. Will said, "Look, your algo is looking nice, man. I'd love to see you still winning." Yeah, definitely, Will. How's your accounts doing? Well, I know you've been doing pretty good, or you were doing pretty good for a while. Hopefully, you were able to stack some more accounts and keep it going. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to tell you guys. So, uh, I mean, I don't really have time to talk about it right now, but I'm gonna try to set up some sort of contest with you guys. So Apex gave me they gave me some codes to give to you guys basically. Like I mentioned before, guys, I'm working with Apex. They identified me as like their top 200 traders in the US. So they want me to kind of give back to my community, which is you guys, of course. They gave me a couple codes here for free Apex accounts. So like I got a couple of codes. I'll probably be getting more codes. Probably gonna hold a contest. So like basically whoever makes the most amount of profits within the week, we'll try to make it kind of we'll have to set some rules, like how many contract sizes you can use. But basically, we'll have like a weekly contest, and I'll give out a free Apex account, any size, whatever size you guys want. You guys want a 50K account, you want a 300K account, completely free. Um, and we'll try to figure that. So I think the cool thing is I'll probably what we'll do is we'll have you guys maybe just take these algo trades and whoever can follow the algo trades properly, because you're going to make profit regardless, right? So if you follow these algo trades properly, and you yield the proper amount of profits, like if you can match up your profits with my profits at the end of the week, then it shows that you have the consistency. And I'll give you a code because if I give you a code, I'm basically guaranteeing, I don't want to say guarantee, but you're basically going to get a funded account at the end of this, right? Because if you just take my algo trades here, it's like proof of concept. I'll give you an account, you take all the trades that I take here with the algo, and then you pass your funded account and you get payouts. I think that's going to be crazy, right? Looking at somebody like I give you a free Apex account, you take my algo trades, you pass the Apex account, you get funded, and you're basically the proof of concept that my algo works. And you're also proof of concept that you're like, if you follow the directions, you can like make profit long term. That's going to be I think that's gonna be the goal there. I don't care about people making the most profit. I care about the person who can follow the directions properly. So here's the algo, guys. It's running at 60 points. We're almost at 80 points right here. It's kind of tempted to get into this a little late, but the algo trade is still running. So this is a 710 trade right here. It's almost at the 90 points. 90 points is big. This is like a 4-hour trade because we minimize it down to 20. Yeah, so this is almost a 3-hour, 4-hour trade right here. It's based off my algo right here. I identified the reversal at 710, which happened right here. Price was coming down. We identified the reversal. It's at 80 points now, almost at 90, almost the full 90 right there. So depending on where you guys took your entry, the 80 points got hit. If you're in this position, I would probably move your stop loss in profit, or I mean, it's going to hit your 90 right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to hit. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. It's about to hit 90 right there. Kind of wish I There we go. 90 points, guys. Beautiful trade right there. Beautiful, beautiful trade. 4R trade right there. No drawdown. Literally no drawdown. An entry happened right there at 710. My algo, so this is even bigger than just identifying the trade normally because my algo identified the reversal in in an outlier market, right? In a market that we don't see, like this was a weird drop right here. But my algo already identified this. So I put these numbers up last night. My algo already identified that reversal was going to happen at 710, and it happened right there exactly with no drawdown. Super, super, super accurate. I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have taken that trade, but I'm okay. I'm glad that I didn't because it just didn't fit my criteria. But perfect, perfect entry right there, guys. 90 points, 20-point stop loss, 90-point target. That is a 2-4, yeah, basically a 4-hour trade right there. Yeah, that's nuts. That's solid. PCU said, so interesting how there's so many strats that work, but the market only moves one way. The futures market, that is. Yeah, exactly. So that's why my algo here, it identifies momentum, right? So like the thing with this is that I'm not even, there's no price action with my algo here. My algo doesn't identify price action. It doesn't identify structure. It doesn't identify technical analysis at all. All we're doing here is we're using historical data. Well, my data here shows that every day at 710, there's a reversal that tends to, or not a reversal, but there's a momentum push that happens at this exact time, right? And then my algo over here also identifies that it's a reversal because it says against. So with my data here, it basically went back about 2 weeks. It shows that at this exact time, every single day for the past 2 weeks, there's a reversal that happens. Most of the time, it's 60%. So maybe like 6 out of 10 days out of so basically 9 out of 15 days right here. 9 out of 15 days, it reverses and it catches it perfectly. So right now, my trade over here at 752, I'm looking for a possible continuation. So if this here starts to climb up, I'm looking for a continuation back up. However, if price starts to turn around, so say for example, price comes up and then it turns around right here, then I'm looking for a continuation down because my trade over here at 752, the one that I'm trying to take, it says that it goes with momentum. So wherever my momentum is at, I'm going to be going with it. So we'll see. Will said he got banned from Apex, so it was tough, but focusing on other firms, still grinding though. Oh, that's crazy. How'd you get banned from Apex? Will, I don't think I don't think I know anyone who actually got banned from Apex. Dang, you must have did something crazy, bro, to get banned from Apex. Um, because I did something crazy too, but they were actually okay with it. Well, I mean, they if it was somebody else, they probably wouldn't be okay with it, but um, yeah, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you haven't been on the sessions for a while, Will, but I've been meeting with Apex pretty much every week. Um, Basically what they're doing is they're trying to get like the top X amount of traders. So I'm in the group of like top 200 of Apex. I'm not obviously I'm not number one, I'm not top 10, I'm not top 100, but or maybe I am, but I know I'm part of the top 200. They're trying to get everybody together and send everyone to New York to go ring the New York Stock Exchange bell. And it's cool because they have like a lot of new things coming to Apex, like a lot of things that people have been wanting, like adjustments to the rules in our favor, direct to funded accounts, stuff like that. Basically, they're trying to take over the prop space again, like they were in the past. So they're basically getting all of their top traders to kind of push Apex versus other prop firms, which I'm all for it because, the other prop firms haven't really reached out to me, which is fine. Um, I'll take whatever recognition I can get, especially with this algo here. But yeah, I'm curious why you got banned, Will. Must have been something crazy. Let's see. Daniel said down the 710 trade hit for 90 points. Blanco said ready for this buy coming if price closes above 812. So yeah, we are above 812 here. So it looks like you might be in that buy now, Blanco. PC said full TP from 36 to 36. Nice. And Blanco said retrace back to 812 and off we go. Okay. So Blanco got the break and retest right there off the 812. That's where he looked to get in from. So I'm with you on this one, Blanco. I'm gonna try to get in a little later, of course. I'm not getting in with you at 8:12, but I'm gonna try to get in right here at 8:50 or 7:52 once we get closer to that period. Okay, so let me put the stats for the day so far. So let's see, 6 a.m. So this is a win plus 2R. This trade over here was at 627. I'm just marking up the trades that we have on the chart here. And this one over here was at 610. And we'll just round it up to 4R. So currently right now it's a total of 3 wins plus 8R. Damn, this is a pretty big day today, guys. For like the crazy stuff that's been happening throughout the market, the algo pretty much identified some really good entries. So if you took any of these entries here, I mean, I only took the 6 o'clock one, so I'm up 2R for the day. But if you took the 6 o'clock, the 627, and then this one right here at 710, we're currently up 8R for the day, which is this is actually really good overall. Um, Let's see. Will said, well, I know a lot of people who receive that email looking for you to transition to live account. We will review your trades over the next 30 days. Can no, see, you still can't buy any evals? Have you tried messaging customer support, Will? I'm assuming you haven't. Because if you message customer support, I'm pretty sure they'll sort it out for you. Or I don't even think I think that that email was only for like your current account. So I'm assuming you blew the accounts. That's what happened, right? You got the email and you blew the accounts, but you haven't tried to buy another one, or you haven't messaged oh yeah, 'cause you said it's not really a ban, but I know people it's been months and even a year. Yeah, Rashida said, yeah, my friend also I tried to reach out to my contact, but he can't buy any more evals. Okay. If you guys still have issues with that and you guys want to come back to Apex, just let me know because I'm connected to to their executive, so I can get through to them. Like I have a direct connection. I can just message them and tell them like, hey, I got a couple people in my community that are having issues, and then they'll sort it out for you guys. But yeah, I mean, if it's something that you guys want help with, just let me know, and then or message me on Discord, and then I can message them myself directly. Lila said so Lila's wondering why they were banned. Like Apex will typically send like an email. I mean, if they want to move you to a live account, I think I should be on a live account because I've been with them for a while. Um, when you're on a live, they basically send you an email like, oh, we're gonna be reviewing your trades and you can't buy any more evals. Uh, I guess like they didn't find their trading habits to be in line with what they were looking for. Yeah, no reply. Okay, well, yeah, well, if you want me to look into it or you want me to get across to someone that's actually gonna answer your question at Apex, just let me know and I'll message them myself. But if you don't want to use Apex anymore, that's fine. But just let me know. I think it was so a lot of people who are getting those emails, it's because of their trading style. I talked to you about it before. Well, if you're flipping accounts, like for example, if you're not consistent, then then they'll ban you, right? So for example, if you're having like so see how my profits are pretty consistent? Like I have like the same risk, right? If you look at my profits here, let me show you guys my profits. If you look at my profits every day, they're not like super crazy, right? I'm not making like 10,000 one day and then making like 5,000 one day and then making like $100 the other day, right? Every day I have pretty consistent profits. I'm around like 560 and then 1,400. So if you look at my stats, see if you look at my profits here, I don't have crazy profits. I'm like very consistent. What Apex wants to see is they want to see consistency with your trading. Right, you look at my profits here. Every single day, I'm making about like 600 per trade. Right, I'm not making like 20,000 or whatever per trade. I'm making like 300 if I'm halving my risk. So that's what Apex likes to see. if Apex sees that you're like doing some YOLO trades, like you're taking some trades where you're going for some pretty big profits and then you're going for some pretty big losses, they'll ban you because once you go into a live account, they're losing money, right? If they copy your accounts and you're making big days some days and you're making huge losses other days, they don't like that. So they don't want you to they don't want you to trade within their platform. So that's why you need to have consistency. That's the whole point of the consistency rule. They don't want people taking YOLO trades or trading news or trading like they make it available. I mean, that's kind of like the bad thing about it is they let you trade news, but realistically they don't want you to be trading manipulated markets. Like they don't want you to trade a lot of times market open. They don't want you guys to trade news. They there's a lot of different there's things that they allow, but they really actually don't want you to be doing stuff like that. That's why for me, I don't trade news. I don't really trade open anymore, and my profits are consistent. Like I'm making about like this kind of profit on average. Like I'm not using different contract sizes. My contract size is almost always the same. My risk is almost always the same. I'm always going for like a 20-point stop loss or tighter or even like just somewhere around that area. I'm not going for anything big. Like you never see me take a trade where I'm doing like where I'm doing something where I'm going for like 200 points, right? You never see me have a target like this. Every time I take a trade, it's always going to be like 40-20. Like I just have consistency with my trading. And I've been consistent for a long while. So that's why for me, I'm like an ideal candidate for a company like Apex because there's no surprises with me. Yeah, there's just no surprises with my trading. Yeah, it's Talon, said, I'm sure I remember Will dropping insane profit numbers. I mean, there was a period, Will, where you were like hitting it and then I think you blow the account, right? I think that's another thing that they don't like. They don't like when someone's like having like consistency and then all of a sudden they just blow everything with one trade or like with one day of trading. Because you could only imagine, like, for example, if you were copying my trades, Will, or if I was managing your account, you'd be so stressed out if you see your profits go up and then they come down and then they go up and then it goes back to zero. It's um it's a roller coaster. Yeah, Will said it's frustrating because of that email. Says 30 days. I know it's more of a tactic on their part. I did not follow the 30% negative drawdown a couple times. Yeah, no, that makes sense, Will. That does make sense. Yeah, Will said, yeah, honestly, I understand that I was not consistent, always buying and blowing accounts. And, but the least they can do is update me and not say over the next 30 days. Other than the 30% rule, I follow the rules. Yeah, the 30% rule is actually a pretty big rule. They don't really emphasize it that much, but it is a pretty big rule because they don't want you to be blowing they don't want to be copying somebody who's going to be blowing their accounts. But yeah, well, just message me on Discord and then I'll send your information or I'll get your information and then I'll send it over to the executives who handle like the actual customer service stuff. And then hopefully we get you sorted out. I'll put in a good word for you and then hopefully you can get back on Apex. Because with the new stuff coming with Apex, it's going to be huge, bro. Like, imagine having direct to funding for 20 accounts. Now that's going to be crazy. That's what I'm pretty excited for because because it's and they pay out. Like a lot of people complain about Apex not paying out. They pay out, so I'm looking forward to it for sure. Yeah, Will said, yeah, I made 32K payout, then was on top of the world. Yeah, Will had a really huge payout at one point, guys. He had a payout for 32,000. That's like his biggest payout with Apex. And they did pay him out. So, they're a good company. It's just you got to follow the rules. Let's see. Rev said it's weird that it went against their rules. I think let you keep all your accounts. Yeah, I think they have, I mean, I don't want to say it, but yeah, they do have some favoritism, of course, with certain people. Like for me, like I've been live trading every day, so I'm not doing anything kind of crazy. It's like they understand how I trade and they understand the risk that I take, and I'm not like taking. I think they would prefer someone that would be consistent in trading more accounts versus someone who's kind of all over the place and flipping accounts. Um, I mean, I don't know. I can't say. I don't know what they're looking for, and I don't know what they prefer, but that's just how I see it. for the most part. Blanco said, when it comes to timeframes, do y'all think the shorter timeframes follow the bigger timeframes or vice versa? Like things first happen on lower timeframes and manifest on the higher timeframes? Uh, yeah, so I think that's the case, Blanco. I think on the higher timeframes, like, you'll have the bigger move. On lower time frames, you'll probably see the retracement and then the correction first. So on the higher time frames, it shows you what's going to happen over like, maybe a 2 day, 3 day, week period. But on the 1 minute, like you said, you'll see the retracements. And then, for example, you line up those retracements with the 4 hour here where price rejects off the pivot. But you'll see the bullish push happen first on the lower time frames. So yeah, the higher time frames do have a directional bias, and then the shorter time frames are going to be leading and following in a sense. The higher time frames are always going to be leading long term, but you'll see it where it kind of pushes, comes down, pushes back up, and then continues. So earlier we saw it as bullish, right? Price pulled down super heavy, like we talked about, and then now it's correcting all the way back up. So I do agree with what you mentioned right there, Blanco. The thing is, if you're trading on the 1 minute, it doesn't really matter though, right? Because it's going to move so far apart that like the higher time frames aren't always going to have a they're not really going to have a big weight on like where price is going to move right now. If you're looking at where price is going to move tomorrow or the day after, then yeah, it's going to have weight. But realistically, the 1 minute, if you're trading on the 1 minute, the 4 hour is not going to have a big impact on it. It's just going to help with your bias and direction. All right, 7:43 right now, guys. We got about 10 minutes until this entry over here at 7:52. I'll be looking to get that entry for the direction of momentum. Uh, Ideally, I'd be looking for a buy here, but we'll kind of see where it ends up going. CJ said the market reversed exactly how you said it would, Sean. I think you should give yourself more credit, bro. You're definitely top 10 just on consistency alone. Yeah, CJ said our group is the only group that has withstood all market conditions since we started. Yeah, I know we've been trading live for a long time now, like over 8 years, and we've been pretty consistent with consistency, right? If that makes sense. We've been kind of sticking to the same momentum style trading for over 8 years now, and it's been pretty good. I mean, we just keep getting better, right? The edge gets better. Now that I have the algo, it even helps even more because we're able to identify the exact turning points and entry points and stuff like that. Same with the entry right here, right? I'm looking for an entry right here at 752. Like I said, this is going to go with momentum, so I'm looking to trade with momentum. Ideally, I'd like it to be pushing up for a buy. If it turns back to the downside right here, I'm okay with taking it for a sell too. But ideally, I mean, we'll kind of see where price goes. The volatility here is starting to flatten out a little bit. Um, Let's see. Sam said, my advice, if you can follow Sean's consistency and trades even on YouTube, buy Apex. But if you trade on your own strategies and not consistent but profitable, go to any other prop firm other than Apex. Yeah. The thing so in comparison with Apex to other prop firms, guys, Apex is a lot more strict. Even though it seems like they are really more strict with regard to consistency of your trades. You could trade with a lot of these other prop firms. The reason why I say that is because Apex has a trailing drawdown rule, right? So they want you to be in and out of positions quickly, or else it's going to eat into your trailing drawdown. Vice versa, if you trade with something that has an end of day drawdown, it's going to be different. Um, a lot of these other companies, they're starting to have a trailing drawdown rule though. So if you have an account with Tradeify, they say it's end of day, but it's really not end of day. If you look at their new rules, you can blow your account or you could like blow the account with like their daily drawdown rule. Because what happens is it's like they say it's not trailing, but it really is trailing. Like for example, if you get up to say you get up to profit up here, right? And price comes down, your drawdown is going to start from this point right here. It doesn't go back to this point right here, even if it comes down. Like for example, if it comes back down right here, your trailing drawdown doesn't follow. It stays up here. So until you make it back above this point, you could still blow your account. So, they might not say it, but if you look at Tradeify's rules, you can actually, it's more of a trailing drawdown now. It's not even an end of day like it used to. It's end of day, but it's not like end of account. So yeah, if you guys are trading with Tradeify, just make sure to be aware of that. Because I've seen people blow their accounts because they don't realize that when price reaches like a high point, like up here, and they don't reach back into profit from there, the account could still be blown. So just just keep that in mind. All right, 750, 747 right now. We got about 5 minutes until 7:52 here. So I'll be looking to see where this ends up going. Yeah, Solange said to even code this kind of algo is mind-boggling, bro. Gotta do an algo on the algo. Like how many of them hit TP during the live? Yeah, so that's what I have set right here. Solange, I'm actually way ahead of you with that one. Like I had the settings over here set up to the point where I was actually looking for that specifically. So our live trading time is between, we'll say 6 o'clock. So 8 until 11, or not 11, 8 until 9 o'clock, basically. So yeah, I have the settings already here set up to identify what are the best trades between our live trading hours, which is gonna be right here. I usually have it set up here. So these are the times that came up for the most part. Yeah. So obviously the trade we took at 6 o'clock, that was the best trade. We already took that one that hit full TP. The next trade is going to be the one right here at 7:52, the one that I'm looking to take next. So we already have the top four trades listed right here between our live time. It's between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. Let's see what else we got over here. So David said, aren't your taxes higher with prop firms accounts because you have an additional self-employment tax to pay with 1099? No, it's actually opposite because you can have deductions if you have a business. So all my prop accounts, I run through a separate business. So I have all the deductions, like all your eval account or eval costs, account costs, basically all your subscriptions. Like say, for example, if you were subscribed to like my indicators and my tools and stuff like that, you can write that stuff off so it becomes a deduction. So like basically you kind of get my indicators for free in a sense, or you get my algo for free because it's going to be offset by the taxes that your tax liability at the end of the year. So prop firms actually you save more money by getting paid as a 1099 versus any other way. But you have to know how to take the deductions and run it through like an LLC or an S corp. For me, I have an S corp, so I pay myself a salary. I run the profits through the company, and then I pay myself like a salary, like 100K a year, just because, and then I write that stuff off too. So that's another deduction. I do pay employee tax and S corp tax, but the thing is like that's also a deduction. So instead of me paying like 100K or 200K in taxes at the end of the year, basically I have to pay myself a paycheck, and it gets deducted from my tax liability at the end of the year. Basically, you're trying to zero in. You're kind of zero. You want to zero out at the end of the year or get close to it. Like at the end of this year, if I make enough money or a certain amount of money, then I can just go. I don't want to say I'm buying another car, but I can go buy another car and then kind of offset the tax liability if it makes sense for the business. There's a lot of different ways to do it. All right, so I'm looking over here for the entry. It looks like it's going to be a buy. Ideally, I'd like the buy, so see. Looking to see what happens here. Um, Stern said, how far back does your trading data go? Well, for the scanner, it only gives you like, because we don't care what the edge happens. This is once per day, so it goes 16 days for the scanner. But when you put the data over here, you can put it for as far as you want. Like if you want to go 90 days, 30 days, it doesn't matter how far we go back because we're looking for this specific time. So it's not the edge isn't always going to be there forever, right? That's why, like for example, I'm not going to be looking to take like I'm not looking to trade at 752 every day for like the whole year. It's just for right now because this is where the edge is currently sitting. All right, guys. So we have a setup over here for the algo entry. If you guys want to take it, it's going to be at the next minute. So not right now, but at the next minute. We got about 20 seconds and a minute coming for a buy here. So we have a sell signal here, which is currently pending. I don't think I'm going to take the sell, guys. If it's a sell here, I'm not going to take the sell. Okay, it's going to be a sell, actually, guys. I'm not going to take it. The reason why I'm saying this is because what we were looking for here is we were looking for price to go with momentum, right? The thing is the momentum here was bullish, and then we just got a sell signal right here. So I'm not going to go against, I know momentum is supposed to be going to the upside here. If you guys want to take this trade here for a sell, I mean, feel free to take it at your own risk. I'm not going to take it. I don't think it's worth the risk in my opinion. Even though, I was going to try to follow the algo here. The problem with this is that the entry came up right before, this momentum came up right before, but I'm expecting price to push up higher. So it's up to you guys if you guys want to take this trade here. This candle is going to close in about 20 seconds. I just don't think it meets my criteria. I've been talking about this from, for the past hour now. I was looking for this to be a buy, but if you guys want to take this for a sell, feel free. I'm going to sit out. I'm happy with my profits for the day. I don't feel the need to force anything here. So if you guys want to take it, you can take it at your own risk. All right, so the trade right there is currently running. I'm not in this position. Not to say that this is not going to hit, but this just didn't go with my criteria. So if you guys want to take it, feel free. I will follow for you guys here. It's for a sell. Oops, wrong direction. Yeah, it's for a sell. Maybe a good thing we didn't take it right there. It looks like it would have stopped out. Yep, that's what I thought. Well, the trade's still running, but it looks like it's either gonna stop out or it's about to. Yeah, so this right here, I already had a feeling this was gonna happen because this momentum came out of nowhere. Uh, so good thing we skipped this trade here because you can see over here, if it was a buy, that would have been perfect, right? I mean, unfortunately, it didn't line up with the buy here, and I'm not going to go against my analysis, right? My analysis had to go with momentum. Damn, freaking blows. I hate when the momentum does that at the last second because you can see over here the buy would have been perfect. Yeah, the buy had no drawdown. It's all good though. I used my, again, this is where it becomes key. You guys can have the algo here, but if you guys don't have the ability to really spot that this was a not going to work out, you probably would have taken this trade and would have taken a loss. But I already knew this was going to happen because I was anticipating the buy here, right? We had the momentum here, which traded against at 710, and then the trade over here is supposed to be with momentum, so I was looking for this to push up higher. The problem is we had the sell momentum, which came up at the very last second, and it kind of skewed the data a little bit. So great decision there to skip out on that trade. For today, this is basically going to be our stats. There's another trade coming up at 8:54, but this trade typically loses on Mondays. You can see over here on my list. Um, I'm using the historical data to make sure that I don't take trades that are not going to be high probability. This is one of those trades which it hits sometimes, but it's not a high probability trade. It has a 66.7% win ratio. And the criteria there is just, it's not good criteria. But anyways, guys, if you guys took the trades for this today, I took one trade myself, which was at 6 a.m. If you took any of the other trades here, it's basically an 8R for the day, 3 wins. Here are my stats. The trade's still running, so we'll continue to follow this here. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. Again, like I said, there's another trade coming up at 8:54, but it's not one that I'm looking to take because it just doesn't meet the criteria. Let me scroll up real quick. So Ark said, but if we bought the accounts in our name, they they say we can't turn it back into business. You can, so if you message the customer support Ark, because you're still in your eval phase, right? In your when you're funded, I don't think you can do it. But if you're still in your eval phase, you could tell them and change it before you get to funded. But even if that was a case arc, it still wouldn't matter. You would still be able to use it because they still pay you a 1099. So they'll pay you a 1099, and what you do with that is you would deposit that into your business account and you just you classify it as business profits or self-employed profits. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're funded. Did you try to message the customer support? Because they might still change it for you. If you, I know you got funded kind of recently, so they might be able to change it for you on those accounts. I know for your eval accounts that have not been funded yet, you might be able to still change that. But if you just got funded recently, you could tell them that you forgot to put your information for your business, and they can do it for you. Otherwise, the other loophole is when you get the payouts, just deposit that into your business account, not your personal account, and then in your QuickBooks, you'll just classify it as business profits. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think it just kind of depends on like when you got it. So like Ark over here said they say you can't change it once you've purchased an evaluation, it's gone. Yeah, so the loophole for you is just because they're still going to pay you a 1099, you would just deposit that into your business account and you classify yourself. So when you do taxes at the end of the year, you'll say that you receive these profits from Apex. It just kind of depends on it just kind of depends on like what your CPA has you do. But that's just another loophole if you want to do that way. Either way, you can always like you can be the holding company. I mean, there's a lot of different loopholes. You can so here I'll just put the right here. So Apex payout 1099 deposit to business bank account and then classify as business profits under your books or yeah. You don't have to use QuickBooks. I use QuickBooks, but basically under your books. You just have to classify it yourself. So they'll pay you the payout, you deposit to your business bank account, not your personal, and then you classify it as business profits. So you can still do that. It's just it's more work on your end because like when when you do it as a business, they actually report it as it says your business name on it, and then you deposit it to your business. But there's ways around it. Yeah, Ark said, so which strategy do I use? Um, I mean, you take the breakout, but you take the breakouts at different times. It's up to you, whichever what you want to take, Arc. If you want to take the breakouts on open, you can still take those, but we're taking breakouts at different times, wherever the algo tells me. So the strategy hasn't really changed. It's the same breakout strategy. It's just we're not taking it only at 6:30. We're taking it at different times of the day, wherever my probability here is highest. But if you want to just stick to the breakouts on open, you can still do that, Arc. Whatever works for you. If this has gone over your head, which it might have because there's a lot of different entries here, you can skip out on this and just stick to the open. Because that's what Talanji's doing. He's still sticking to the open breakouts. So I mean it's still profitable. It's just you're gonna have some drawdown periods. With this here, I don't really have many drawdown periods because I'm always looking for the next best trade, basically. All right, let me scroll down a little bit. Um, Yeah, so PC actually answered my question earlier that I talked about with self-employment because you are paying less taxes through self-employment through a 1099. And then if you run it through a business, you can also deduct from there as well. Damn, so here's that entry earlier that I wanted to take at 752, guys. It looks like it's about to hit 40 points. I wish we could have gotten into this entry, but I didn't want to go against the strategy. The strategy said to go with momentum. Unfortunately, the sell momentum came up right there, so I wasn't able to take that. But if this sell momentum didn't come up, I would have taken the buy here, and this here would have pushed up, and it looks like it's about to hit 40 points right there. Looks like it's about to hit a couple points away from target, guys. It is about less than 10 points. Yeah, exactly. RX said, y'all said this algorithm is free money. Yeah, it's your money printer, RX. So like obviously if you can have the ability to follow along, RX, which I do think you have the ability to follow along, I would say stick to our algo trades. The thing is you got to pay attention to the Discord because sometimes I'll get on a little earlier, right? Like for example, today the trade was at 6 o'clock. So I got up and I we took this trade at 6 o'clock, right? So I mean, I don't know if the schedule is going to work with you. Hopefully it does. But I got up at 6 o'clock to take that trade. And if you can get up at 6 o'clock with us, this isn't going to be every day either. It's just going to be certain days where the probabilities are high and I'm going to take it at 6 o'clock. But yeah, if you can follow along and take the same algo trades that we're taking, I mean, you're gonna yield a way bigger and better profit long term. Because I'm always looking for the best opportunity for entry. 6:30 is not always going to be the best time to take entry. Like for example, today 6:30 wasn't a good entry, but the 6 o'clock one was. Nice. Is this Ardonius? Sag. I'm not sure if this is Chris, but nice work, Sag, on these profits here. So great profits for the day, 2,362. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is because Ardonius, I know you went by the username Sag too. Maybe not you, but Ardonius or Chris. Yeah, but great profits, guys. You guys did pretty good for the day. The trade here is still running, that trade that I was just talking about, the one that I hope to get into, but I didn't take it here for a buy because of momentum went the other way. Let me go down the chat. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Target's almost hit right here. We're about a few points away from hitting that 40 points. We'll keep following it here. These are my stats for the day. But let me just scroll down a little further. Samir said, really grateful to have known K2 and all of you team. Very welcoming and grateful this far. Yeah, definitely, Samir. Um, yeah, Blanco said, I don't think it's human bots. They just don't want people who are not consistent. Yeah, I agree with you too, Blanco. 100%. Samir said, "My time is here. I think it's time to branch out so I can focus on my new style of trading." Yeah, definitely, Samir. If you ever want to come back, bro, come through. We'll be here trading. Let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, Blanco said, "If I ever have a fund or an office with other traders, you have three strikes like base." Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you too, Blanco. I'd have some pretty strict rules like that too. And let's see what else we got over here. Okay, I'm just like zooming through your messages right there. Guys, Maxwell said, intrigued by your IG content, first time on the stream. Nice, Maxwell. Welcome, bro. Yeah, we trade live every day in the morning. Today I was on a little earlier because I had a trade at 6 o'clock. Usually I'm on around like 6:20, but today I took a trade. This trade's about to hit full TP, guys. This is the one that I was looking to take here at 7:52. Full TP right there, 40 points. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into it because this momentum threw me off. But it looks like my analysis here from this like pretty much from earlier today, it played out perfect. So we had the trade over here at 710, which was a reversal, and it did exactly what we anticipated. So great work to you guys who caught the trade here. Looks like, yeah, it was pretty spot on. Man, I wish I would have taken this trade. I would have had more profit here, but it's all good. So today we're actually up, and we technically would have been up 10R because this trade would have won if we took that for the buy, but I didn't want to go with momentum here, because I was anticipating it to be bullish. So you guys can see my analysis right here played out perfect. We had the reversal at 710, no drawdown on that one. I was looking for the continuation right here, but unfortunately we had a sell momentum come up at this last candle, so I skipped it. But if this momentum didn't come up, I would have taken that for the buy, and it would have hit the full TP right there for 40 points. It's all good. It's all good. You know, we'll take profit where we can. Ark said so every day. No, not every day. Yeah, again, like I mentioned earlier, Ark, if this is going over your head, Ark, just forget everything we talked about and just stick to your 6:30 breakout. Thing is, I'm gonna be posting the trades over here in the announcement. So like this was only for today because for today my target entry was at 6 o'clock. I usually don't get on until like 6:20, but because we had the entry at 6 o'clock, I was on a little earlier at like 5:30. So again, if this is too much work for you, Ark, which it might be, I would say just stick to what you're doing because what you're doing is already profitable. You're just going to make more profit if you're able to get in at these other entries. So again, tonight I'll be posting these possible entry times in the Discord. So make sure to look at the Discord. If I see something here and it's before my regular trading hours, I'll probably be on a little earlier. Or if I see something good here and it's like one of those entries that has a high win rate and I see that it wins every single week, then I'm going to get up a little earlier to take that specific trade. But again, for certain people, this might be a little too difficult. You might want to just follow along for a bit, Arik, before you start taking these trades. But what we're doing is we're just taking breakouts at different times, right? You take the breakout at 6:30, I took the breakout at 6 o'clock because my probabilities that were high. My probabilities over here didn't say any good breakouts at 6:30, so I told people not to take the breakout at 6:30, which made sense because if you took the breakout, you would have lost, right? So, I'm using probabilities and I'm using data here to identify that. Another question over here. Let's see. Talanji said, yeah, the open breakout alone isn't good enough. Yeah, I agree with you, Talanji, 100%. And Ark is asking what does 10R mean? 10R means a multiple. So every time I take a trade, I'm doing a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So every time I win, that's 2R. It's a 2R multiple. If I lose a trade, it's a 1R multiple. So today we didn't have any losses. We had three back-to-back wins, right? And then this over here was it was bigger because it was 90 points. This was a 90-point target. Our normal targets are about 40 points. So instead of doing this here, this was a more of a 4-hour multiple because the stop loss was 20. You divide 90 by 20, it's going to give you about between a 3-4 R. So basically, the R just means like the multiple of like profits you would have made, whether it be one or whether it be two. Each trade is a 1 to 2, so you just multiply. We took three trades here times two, plus this one over here was a little more. That's why the R multiple was 10, or it's 8, unless you included this trade here, which would be another 2. That's why 8 plus 2 is 10. Yeah, but don't get too bogged down with the R multiples. It just tells you how much profitability you'll make per trade. Because you win a trade, you get 2. You lose a trade, you only lose 1. Because we're doing a 1 to 2, right? Stop loss is 20, target is 40. But all right, guys, I think that might be it for the day. Let me go over here and see if I can finally update my trader sync. If I can't update it here, I'll just post the stats in the Discord a little later. I'm hoping right here I can just update it, but I don't know. Trader sync's been kind of off lately with updating my trades. Let me do it one more time. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna do my personal account. So auto sync live account. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go grab. I don't know why it does that. So for some reason I keep getting errors on here. Let me try to do, let's not do my personal account. Let's do my Apex actually. Maybe this will work. Okay, so the Apex is actually working. I'll let this load up real quick. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab my daughter. All right, here goes your guys' boss, baby girl. It's daddy daycare time, so it's my time to watch the baby. Here you go, baby girl. Let's try to get these trades loaded on my trader sync real quick. Let's see. Trader sync is loading up as we speak. Hopefully I get these on here. I'm really curious to see the total profits because it's going to be pretty big. And this isn't even all my accounts. So guys, just another heads up with the hedge fund. So I know a lot of you guys are excited for the hedge fund to reopen. Thankfully, the hedge fund will probably be opening hopefully by the end of this week, if not next week, if you guys are interested. So for the hedge fund, if you guys want me to trade your accounts, like say for example, you want this to be all hands free and you want me to trade and then you want your accounts to be one of these on my list. So if you look at all my accounts over here, I have a lot of accounts, right? These are like hedge fund clients and personal accounts. So if you want to be one of these accounts here, because I'm taking all these trades myself. So if you want to be one of these accounts and you don't want to do the actual trading, you just want to make money, basically. I do have a service available with the hedge fund that's going to be basically a copier service. So these are all different accounts, right? My main account, this is my personal account right here. It takes all the trades and then it copies over to all of my clients. So if you want to be one of these accounts here, like you just want to not take the trades and not get on the live session and you just want me to trade for you, and then you make profit and then you just pay like a flat rate fee at the end of each month. It's usually gonna be contract size, like based off your contract size. We can do that. So just let me know if you want me to basically print money for you. You know, you just check your account at the end of the day, like you wake up and you open your account at 8 o'clock and you want to see if you made profit because obviously you're going to see your account. It's going to be a service that's going to be available to you. There's no guarantees, of course, there's no guarantees of trading, but if you just want to be one of these accounts here, which is doing exactly what I'm doing, I'm doing the work. I'm getting up at 6 o'clock to take this 6 o'clock trade, but and you want to say you want to take the fruits of this and you just want to make profit or take the trade without actually getting up and doing the work. Just let me know. It's not very expensive. I'm making it accessible to majority of people out there. You just have to have the capital to start, right? To trade with NinjaTrader, you need to have a minimum of about 10 to 12,000. You're not going to risk that much. You probably risk maybe like 300 a day or whatnot, but you just need to have enough capital to open an account with NinjaTrader, a personal account. I'm not trading any prop firms or anything like that. Only trading live money. So if you guys are interested in that, the prop firm will be or not the prop firm, the hedge fund will be available probably by the end of this week. I just have a couple more steps. So I had to send my fingerprints to the FBI to do a background check. So I sent my fingerprints to the National Futures Association. They're supposed to get my fingerprints today or tomorrow. They're going to do a background check, send it over to the FBI, get it, make sure I don't have any, random history of like financial embezzlement or stuff like that. And then everything's gonna be good. I already paid for my dues, so I paid my 5,000 or whatever to register the hedge fund, register myself as a professional trader. We're just waiting for the confirmation. Once I get that confirmation of my fingerprints and my background check, then the hedge fund is gonna be up and running. So yeah, just I'm excited, guys. I'm really excited for the hedge fund because, oh man, like imagine this. Like I have like maybe 40 accounts here. Now that the hedge fund is official, I can have like an unlimited amount of clients. So like if I have like this is gonna be crazy because you think about it. If we have like say I have like 200 clients, right? And I'm executing trades for everybody. Say for example, if everybody's executing 5 contracts, so 5 times 200. I'm going to be putting 1,000 contracts, like real contracts, into the market. So we might be able to like, have some sort of impact whenever we execute our momentum trades. Because it's going to show on the order book that we're putting 1,000 contracts in, and people are gonna piggyback our ride. So if we can show that we're putting big contracts in the market, people are going to follow, and it's going to help our position move even faster. It's not going to be the case with prop accounts because it doesn't show up on the order book, but with the live account, that's a lot of contracts to be executing. Or even if you did more, like for example, someone's like, once you guys start to make more money, you're doing 10 contracts times, we'll say like 300 accounts, right? That's 3,000 contracts being executed at 6 o'clock. And when people see 3,000 contracts being executed at 6 o'clock, people are going to piggyback on that and they're going to ride it with us. Like the momentum's going to ride in our direction. So it's going to be pretty exciting, guys. I'm pretty excited for the hedge fund. Pretty excited to really make money, not just for me, but for all of you guys, right? Like we could all win together. And of course, I'm gonna get my little cut out of it. So it's gonna be a nice little gift for Alina over here. Kids are expensive, guys. Kids are not cheap, especially with this little girl. She's a spoiled little girl that wants everything. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions that you guys have, or actually, sorry, let me check my trader sync. So my trader sync is still updating. Let me go over here real quick if it's updated yet. That's what I was waiting for. Okay, so it hasn't updated. It's still updating right now. So it only shows 5 trades, but I'll hang out for a little bit. Let's see, questions over here. So, question from Hindsight. He's asking hedge fund details. Message me on Discord, or if you have any specific question that you guys want to be answered about the hedge fund. Basically, what the hedge fund is more of a copier service. The way that it works is my main account executes the trade. So you see how I took the trade right here on my main account. Whatever my main account does, if you're part of the hedge fund service, your account's going to copy. Like what you're going to do is you're going to set up your own personal account with NinjaTrader. You're going to give me your login details. It's going to link to my account. So whatever my account does, your account will copy. Um, Initially, we were doing a profit split, so like a split of profits at the end of each month. But in order for you to save more, so for example, if you were to trade, okay, so if you were to trade one contract, right, one times five times 60, which is going to be the average. This is how much profit you'd probably make basically per trade, right? So if you were to trade one contract, this is how much you would pay for the month of service. And we're looking for maybe a 4R multiple per month, right? So one times five times 60 times we'll say like a 6R multiple. So this is how much profit you could possibly anticipate to make. This is just hypothetical. And then you'll just pay this much as a monthly as a service fee. You don't have to split profits. Before we used to split profits, so you'd have to split this with me by half. So this would be your take home 900. But now that you're only paying a service fee, then you only pay this much, but you get to keep the whole 1800. So I'm trying to make it in a way where it's going to be profitable for the client, and it is also for me on a consistent basis. And you're just paying by the contract. So for example, if you wanted to take more contracts, like for this account right here, I'm taking, I think, six contracts. So six times five times 60. This is how much would be the monthly fee. But if you were to take, the trade and you hit a six multiple, your profit for the month would be 10,000. So you're basically making about 10,800 and you're paying this as a fee. So you're only paying like a small fraction of your profits. That's basically how the service would work. In the future, I'm going to be adjusting to a CPO, which is like a traditional hedge fund where you'll be investing the money. So you just invest the money and then we put it into one big account. But we don't have that right now. Right now, it's just a copier service because it takes longer for me to get regulated for that. So that'll probably be like a little farther down the line, maybe by next year. We'll have more of a traditional hedge fund where it's called a CPO, which is commodity pool operator. So operating a pool versus operating individual accounts. Question from Martha. She's asking how much initial capital to open an account. You need to have about 10 to 12,000. That's just enough capital that's enough capital to to open the account and to have it running, but not necessarily you're not going to be risking that much. You have an option. Man, Trader Sync's taking forever to update. It's still updating right now, guys. So don't worry. I'm trying to get all the accounts on here. Um, it's just really slower than it usually is. Let's see. We might be able to see the next entry over here, which is at see the next entry is at sorry, 8:54. So we still got a long time until the next entry. We got about 35 minutes. This is like playtime for Alina right now for my daughter. So she's ready to play. And I think she likes all the colors from the charts. She's like reading the chart right now. Stern said no hair doing today. I know. I think my wife, she put the hat on because she's seen me when I bring her on the live sessions and her hair is like all crazy. She gave her a hat today. So the service fee depends on your contract size, Lila. I don't remember what contract size we were taking with your account. Don't worry, we're gonna meet up. So all of my previous hedge fund clients, I know Lila, you're one of the hedge fund clients. We'll discuss because we're basically making it where it's more you're keeping more profit in your pocket versus having to, pay me a split. Because I think last time when you paid me a split, like the problem is you still have to pay taxes on it, right? And that's what I was looking for. I was looking ahead of time because if you're paying 50% of your profits to me every month, you got to pay another like half of that towards taxes, right? So you're not really keeping as much profit. So in order for you to keep more profit, I think it's better to just have a service fee and then you keep all your profits and then you pay the taxes at the end of the year. I'm just looking for ways to save you as a client more money. Uh, I'm gonna make profit either way because we're taking the same trade. So either way, I'm gonna make the profit on the trade, but then I don't want to nickel and dime the client where they're paying me a good chunk of their profits and they're not really keeping as much. I'd rather just, pay a service fee and then keep all the profits. It just makes more sense for you. Thanks, Rashida. Rashida said she's so cute. Um, Solange said you got to watch the show Billions. Yeah, I know. I have watched it. It's on I think it's on HBO, right? Billions is a really good show, CJ. It's basically about a hedge fund and it's super super cool. Like when I saw Billions for the first time, that's what got me excited to open my own hedge fund. I was like, it's pretty crazy how how things work in that space. I mean, obviously it's a drama show, but it's pretty it's a pretty cool show overall. All right, let me see my trader sync. Man, this thing's taking forever. Let me update it again real quick. Trader sync. I just want to see what the total is, but the total is taking a while. Yeah, let's refresh this one more time. Here today. All right, it's slowly updating. It has like 11 of my accounts loaded right there. 11 of the 20 accounts. That'll be there in a little bit. Let's see. Blanco said if I have time if the hedge fund needs employees like internships, like I mentioned on Reddit. If any opportunity comes up, keep my name up there. Yeah, 100% Blanco. I'll keep you. A lot of you guys here, if I do hire employees for the hedge fund, it's going to be within the community. So if you guys have been part of K2 or Kodi Kai for a while, I'll let you guys know if there are openings because there's probably going to be openings. I'm going to need people who are going to be testing the algo to make sure we have the highest probable trades. Maybe some people doing some background testing, maybe some people that just do some customer service stuff. But I'll keep you guys in mind. Let's see, Maxwell is asking, do you say no longer trade prop firms? No, so I still do. So I trade my own funds. I trade for certain prop firms, mainly Apex. Uh, I'm partnering with them. It's going to be the main prop firm that I plan to use because they have really good. I mean, you could have 20 accounts with them, so you make the most profit, of course, with Apex. And then I have the hedge fund. So I have a lot of different accounts. I have personal account, which is my own account. I have my business trading account, which is my own account. I have a couple prop firm accounts, mainly Apex, and then hedge fund accounts. So yeah, there's a lot that I'm still doing right there. Let's see. Maxwell said, "Do you shift from prop firms to your own funds soon?" Other than after, no. So I'll still be trading the prop firms. I will still be trading Apex. I don't plan on leaving Apex ever, really. They've been the best prop firm for me overall long term. So I'm not really planning on leaving them at all. But the hedge fund is of course going to be taking precedent because it's going to be live money on those accounts. And it's crazy how long. Okay, let me just drag this over real quick. So you can kind of see my accounts are starting to load up, but they're not. I mean, they're taking a while. So I have basically 11,000 right here for 13 trades. There is going to be more profits, of course, as we continue stacking up. I think these might be doubling up, which I don't. I'm gonna have to go and kind of fix this. But anyways, here are my profits for the year so far. We're at currently 773,065. I'll have to update this because I don't think this is accurate. Anyways, I'm still a pretty good profit for the year. This is supposed to be closer to 40, and I think these are supposed to be a little less. I think it might be doubling up the trade journal. All right, guys, I think it's time for me to get off. Baby girl is getting ready to she wants to play. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. All right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Again, tonight I'll post up my list of trades for tomorrow. Um, and then I'll identify which ones have the highest probability and which ones will likely hit, and then I'll probably go ahead and take those for tomorrow. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow. I got to take my daughter for a walk. We're gonna go for a little walk this morning. We're gonna go for a little money walk, huh? 'Cause we made some profit today. My baby girl. All right, say bye to everybody. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, hit me up.